of this grand final. Hamburg, make some noise for this grand final!
Welcome to the International, everybody! Let's kick this shit off with a bang! It's China striking first blood!
Cannot be more fitting. A return in bounce East versus West will grace the grand finals one more time as Ame returns to claim his throne. An uncrowned king against a king already crowned. You could not ask for a better storyline going into this immaculate TI.
That's right. There is so much history that goes into the International. And a large part of that old history, some of you might remember, was that balance of power. It was China versus the world. Every odd year, an international team would win. Every even year, a Chinese team would win. For 7 years, this was true, until Ame and LGD fell to OG at TI8.
History was written, and once more we return to write history in the stars. Can XG make the miracle happen? Can they make this tough road through the lower bracket, return to a finals, a third appearance for some of these players? They have consistently fallen short, but perhaps this is their moment to put their name on that Aegis. They are against a very tough opponent in Falcons. They have been dominating this meta. They have been setting the trends. They have their comfort picks. It's not a question of knowing what they're going to play. It's a question of how do you beat what they play, because everybody knows the heroes that are going to come out from these playmakers. Can you out-team fight them? Can you out-skirmish them? That is the challenge ahead in this series for XG.
Already see XM and Malrine trading blows, as we will see in hopefully 5 games of this series.
Oh yeah.
XM has already taken a bit of a lead here at 10-2, and it seems like all the lanes are going well for Xtreme, as another 10-0 for Ame. Seems that, do you feel like Xtreme Gaming put a bit more emphasis on the lanes against Falcons?
If anything, I think they did it against P-Vision. They had to learn how to not get run over in some of these lower bracket series. The European team's laning stage is insane. You have to come prepared for it. You cannot give them too much room, too much tempo, particularly when you give up these tempo supports. The Chen, the Enchantress, you can't ban them all. Snaking's going to get something in this game. If Amar is on one of those tempo setters like the Bristleback, for example, these games can spiral very quickly off a laning stage win. XG need to step up their first 10 minutes in this series if they want to have a good chance of competing. But that said, they also made some crazy comebacks.
Yes.
This is a team, you cannot count them out at any point in that game. And this is another lineup that can just scale like a beast across all 3 cores. I like that they went for the first pick Mars. That's a dominance move. We're taking it away from ATF. We're going to get it for XXS early. We don't care if we have to first pick it. We want him comfortable. We want him controlling the fights. And by God, has this man had a TI. He absolutely has to be in the front running for this MVP right now.
100%. I mean, he saved Xtreme Gaming's life in that lower bracket final. In fact, in the lower bracket in its entirety, he has come up for Xtreme time and time again, and he is a large reason why they are here in this finals. Ame, he's trying to put some pressure onto Amar where he can in this Ursa versus Pango matchup, but the mobility is not allowing him to do so. Amar, 19-2, doing the best of his comrades when it comes to the CS.
And we do see the support swap from Falcons. This Elder Titan's going to be a pivotal hero in this matchup. It's something that XG are going to more and more. It's a crazy teamfight scaler, something to give them confidence in the late game. Downside is it does have some rough lane matchups. Falcons are trying to abuse this Enchantress with the Dispel against X-Nova. Get that lane win in the off lane for Amar. Does require you to put crit into that safe lane. You lose a little comfortability, but you gain really good support matchups here.
Certainly feels like a lot of draft threats on the table no matter who wins in this game, right? If all of a sudden 100%. The Elder Titan is kicked to the side and this Enchantress reigns supreme as a support, we've seen how when the games start going late, any support that is able to farm for themselves has big value.
And also, we have the 2 biggest support ranged playmakers in this meta, the Hoodwink and the Snap.
Knocked back by the God's Rebuke, will not be able to get a stun off. A second kill for Xtreme in this laning phase as they are up now 1,000 gold.
This is such a strong duo. You can't ask for more in this meta right now. Terrifying lane to go up against. And the fact you had to put Crit up here to try and get that Enchantress ET matchup does hurt Crit a little bit, because these Snaps and Hoodwinks want to play with the offlaner. They want to get aggressive. They want to use the early spell power to build momentum. Earn Charge is already online for Jin-Q. Super strong right now.
Lots of damage. Jin-Q stepping a bit too far forward, trying to pressure Skeeter, takes a lot of damage. They even threw the blood grenade at him, but they couldn't go for the kill. While Amar goes down, they trade out cores. Xnova, can he beat down Snaking? One more hit, he's got it. A 2-for-1 special, and the action returns at the top lane, as this time it's Crit who puts his life in danger and does not manage to get out of it.
I was maybe a little concerned for XG laning-wise coming into this series, but already they are hitting the mark. This XXS Mars is the most farm hero coming out of this laning phase. They even get a kill with that Ursa on the Pango, not expected, and so much XP for Xnova on an amazing hero to get early levels on in this Elder Titan. Already has the boots online, already level 4, putting points into that natural order. You combine this with some of the Queen damage later, the Mars damage later. They have such good teamfight combinations. If you're Falcons, you need to get this Ember off to a good start. Play through him, let him drive the pace of the game. Don't let XG set up these big fights around Roshan where they're super confident in their AoE control.
Fighting for power runes, but locked down by the chains. Got a bushwhack, trying to stop it. Another stun comes in. XM is able to get the blink away, and Jin-Q is the one to pick up the arcane rune instead. A little bit of HP fed over to Malrine. He'll be okay, and XM being the ranged hero should be able to weather through this a bit.
Jin-Q just playing with him. This early Urn creates such a threat with the blood grenade combination. He's basically just fighting 2 supports in the river, taking the rune away from Malrine. That's a huge win. As XM feeling the pressure of some of these summons. Double range creep, plus Enchantress, plus Catapult about to hit your tower. Need reinforcements here.
Yeah, where is this Elder Titan? He's been hanging out with this Ursa, but he's needed in the mid lane. They pop a glyph here, and depending on how much Falcons want to tank here, they have another enchant, so another creep to be able to tank this tower. Few more Siege Wagon hits, and then another round of creeps will enter into the tower. So this Siege Wagon, it's going to get well below half here. The Spirit only just now showing up, but what do you even do as an Elder Titan this early?
Not a lot. Tough matchups. You don't interact well with the Ember Spirit. You don't have the lockdown for him. Just got to beat him back, but that is some significant tower pressure.
Oh, but the trade-off, Ame. He almost gets the kill on Amar, but he also takes the Wisdom Shrine. That is a big move. Xtreme, I mean, they drew the first blood quite figuratively and literally as they managed to get the first kill, but also won the laning phase. Falcons with this move on mid was brilliant, but the trade-off, Xtreme got to be very happy as their supports are going to get their level 6s before Falcons.
Huge advantage gained off that play from Ahmed, getting aggressive on that battle line. He even forced double support TP there that yielded nothing for Falcons. So now, if you want to get aggressive top with this Mars, no support can come in for Skeeter. If you want to get aggressive on mid, that option's available with the Sonic Wave.
Yeah, like how does Skeeter even play top anymore? It's a level 6 Mars and a level 5 Hoodwink at 8 minutes in. He's got to abandon this lane.
So many levels on these supports.
Power Rune, Malrine tries to get it and does manage to grab it. Regen into the bottle.
Nice pickup for him. And XM not finding early fights with this Sonic Wave. Love to get some action going, but the mobility from this Ember Spirit, just not something that XG can deal with early on in this game.
This tower is going to fall, but who's going to get the last hit on it? Malrine tries to get there in time, but XM already snags the deny. Malrine would love to get a kill on Xnova, but not the case. Against an Enchantress, this is just inevitable, right? You're going to bleed out towers.
Yes.
You just got to try and slow it down as much as possible.
Especially with the lane swap they did. When this Enchantress plays from the off lane, those moves behind the tier 1s are incredibly dangerous, and they're a lot more fluid for Snaking to make than if he was stuck in that safe lane trying to secure farm for the Sven.
Snaking
control
did not make the read there. That a ward was placed on that high ground. He gets his own really good laning ward, though.
Ame hunting him here in the jungle. He's got his eyes on him.
You got to punish this Enchantress. You can't just let Snaking live in your jungle. He will do that until you punish him. Thinking about the Sonic Wave, is it required? XM, they can't even get him.
Nice enchant for the Dispel and the Overpower. Ame trying to hold it, Snaking holds longer.
And of course, anybody who shows up in the top lane is going to die. It's just a matter of time. Crit's not dead yet. And now with the Ember Spirit here, looks like the Mars in big trouble, and Jin-Q is not able to chase after Crit. It's going to be XXS to fall instead as Falcons bring 4 up to top. They do not want to be losing these early towers.
That was a big committal. I mean, you're showing all 3 cores on this top lane to bring down that Mars, who is having a fantastic time. That's a big kill. But it does give a lot of space to the Ursa, more space for XM on the mid. Got to look towards this 10-minute power rune. If he can grab it here, would be a huge win for XG. Malrine looking for an amp damage or a haste to accelerate his game.
Once again, Malrine going to try and outclick XM for it, but this time XM gets the bottom. With a haste rune, not required to pop it just yet. He's able to blink away.
Big rune to take away from that Ember.
Yeah.
Right, that is super dangerous around the map. Still
it's also
no Sonic Wave thrown in this game.
Yeah, we got to start establishing our own threats from the mid lane if you're Xtreme Gaming. You're looking around where the Sonic Wave has been off cooldown for like 4 minutes now. We just haven't put it to use.
It's easily a move he can make to top, right? If you have this arena on top, anybody that shows there, just arena him into the Sonic Wave. Even if reinforcements come in, that can be a great fight. You can connect through the gate. It's kind of your best point of attack right now. You can also continue to hold it here and use it defensively. If you want Ame to continue playing bottom against some of the threat that the Pango holds, the Queen can counterplay that a little bit.
Crit playing games with XXS and Jin Q once again, but this time around Xtreme bring a whole lot more heroes to the mix. Falcons decline to do the same. They'll give up the tower finally and make a trade-off of their own.
A lot of trades happening in this game, but man, Crit has suffered in this early game. Losing the Wisdom Shrines really hurt him because he had to play more sacrificial on that safe lane to give Sven some of that XP. This Snapfire's level 4.5 right now. I don't know when you're going to have kisses in this game, but it's not going to be for a while. And to me, this has been the spell that's defined this hero at this TI. You know, heroes come and change, the spells come and change, but right now, getting kisses online fast, taking fights around that ult, super powerful long-range damage. We've seen it just win team fights straight up. We saw what Jin Q did with it in the previous series. The more this is delayed, the better the team fights look for XG, particularly around that Roche pit, if Ame gets off to a fast start. Malrine just playing with her mid, looking for that 12-minute power rune.
XM challenges him again. The stomp, it lands. Good bushwhack, the turnaround, and there's the Sonic Wave. But it wasn't even required. Jin Q had it well in hand. That bushwhack combined with the sharpshooter, well played.
And Skeeter's here looking for the fight. There's nothing to fight. He'll just pick up the rune and go back to the jungle. Huge kill in this Ember Sphere. That's the hero you want to get the fast Mage Slayer on that Falcons can snowball through. Every time you take him off the map, you buy so much time for your other cores.
Yeah, and Skeeter will have the luxury of stacks where you can see it. Xtreme do not have that same luxury. 9 more stacks than Xtreme have done. I mean, when you have that kind of imbalance, Xtreme have to get aggressive, right? There's no other option.
Start stacking of your own, claim early Roshans, or start taking some more team fights. The interesting part about this game is you won the Wisdom Shrine battle, but Falcons are ahead in XP. Because Skeeter just got so much more out of this jungle. This Sven is level 11. He's a couple levels ahead of the nearest core. So their supports are behind, but their cores are ahead. And these are cores that can absolutely just win the fight, even if the supports are lacking some net worth.
Hey, I'm just happy we get to see 2 cores that do not build Helmadom.
Oh, there's not going to be a single Helm in this game.
Bless. Another Wisdom Shrine is coming up in 40 seconds. Crowd happiest they've been all day.
The Helm meta died somewhere in the lower bracket, it would seem, as these teams just want to duke it out. Malrine's still looking for that Mage Slayer, but very strong on the front line as long as he doesn't get bushwhacked into the burst damage.
Tried to get the slight chains, but let's face it, diving into the tier 2, that is a risk a bit too much for Falcons. And this smoke seems to have petered out.
And items flying in for XG right now. They dodge that fight, they get Blade Mail on the Quap, they get Yules on the Mars. Early fighting items now online. 14-minute Wisdom Shrines are spawning. Looks like they're just going to get it traded out here unless X-Nova wants to try something really sneaky down there.
Yeah, this will make it so that Malrine can't be nearly as aggressive, right? There was very little punish outside of a sick bushwhack that we saw, but now he's going to be running into potentially a Mars who just Yules Arena Spears. Easy.
Super deadly on the front line. A lot of threat coming out from XXS right now. Downside is you don't have the reach of something like the Blink Dagger, so it's a little harder to just make an aggressive smoke play with confidence. But if you get the right angle, you just run into heroes, phase boots into the Yules, it'll do the job. And yeah, that ward scouted that out.
That first move with this Yules, it's going to be red. Smoked right underneath a laning ward.
Upside is if you just go to the tier 1, you might just be able to pummel this tower and get something out of this move regardless. The Falcons don't want to give up this tier 1 for free.
Sure, and maybe find the sacrificial support position.
Yep.
Here comes that play. Even had the scan on the mid lane right next to XM to see who was next to him.
Ops placed right under Sentry up top.
You're going to try for it. Rolling Thunder. Amar. The chains, but he doesn't pull the trigger just yet. I mean, if the tower's not going to fall, there's really no need.
That's not a fight you want to force into this amp damage Ember. Not the timing to do it, especially when Ursa's just not going to join the fight. Battle Fury was just finished for Ame a minute ago. He's cruising in the farm department. He's having a great time. No pressure on him right now. Recovering his disadvantage against the Sven, who had all of those ancient stacks earlier. Does not want to be dragged into a bad engagement for a tier 1.
Falcons make a show of a 5-man defense in the mid lane. After the tower's defended, back to hitting neutrals. They really haven't they haven't ground out that usual lead that Falcons tends to do after a laning phase. Xtreme is still keeping up despite the stack disparity.
Difficult team to grind it out against.
Why is that?
They're just resilient around the map. They rarely give up really bad core deaths. I mean, the games that are spiraling are going to spiral for anybody, but I feel like they just don't feed in poor places. It's usually getting lanes super deep. Nova, he's...
okay, the Croaker. Yeah, Snaking had that well in control. There was no problem there whatsoever.
That's that Mage Slayer online for the Ember, so time to get aggressive. Follow Malrine, let him bring these supports back into the game in a really nice position. Look,
Malrine does find another one. Slight chains, kisses. And XXS is biding his time, waiting for Malrine to show, but the kisses give too much information. They have to back away.
Too easy right now. Just follow this Ember. Very little XG can do about it unless they are just baiting someone out and going and using.
Yeah, as you said, the core is not being picked off, but they do manage to find some support kills.
XG don't mind this kind of style though. Like, they're willing to give up some part of the map early on in a game to push it later, get their item timings, and take that fight. Even if it's at a 5 or 6K network disadvantage, they believe in their execution. They believe in their timing. They're going to overcome that, particularly around the Roche pit. We have seen this team dominate Roshan fights. To me, it's been their signature sauce for this event.
I was about to say, if anything's going to give them even more confidence, is going to be that lower bracket finals, game 3. Yeah. They played against a net worth advantage the entire time, and still had the confidence they were going to be able to pull through, and they sure did.
I mean, at this point, just believe XXS is going to win you the Roshan fight because he's done it time and time again.
Yeah, just give up every Roche. Just make sure XXS is in a position to make the steal.
And there's the Blink Dagger for the Mars. He was thinking about BKB or Blink, but he opts for the Blink. Tells me XG want to get aggressive here in the next few minutes. If you can get a team fight on top of Falcons with you being the initiator, particularly on that Pangolier or Ember, it can break that fight open, especially if it's around the pit, straight into Roshan for this Ursa. This is a really pivotal moment in this game for Falcons to defend their map.
Baiting an 18-minute power rune that doesn't spawn. Amar makes a poke at XM and reveals that there is a whole heap of heroes right behind him.
Blinks are also online for Falcons. Pango Blink, Sven Blink, Instant Smoke. Falcons are going to look to do what XG just wanted to.
XXS is thinking about striking first, though, and he managed to get the pin. No Yules required. They just blew him up, and the Rolling Thunder will come too late to save the Ember Spirit. But maybe Skeeter, you can see him. He's holding off right now, waiting for his initiation. When's he going to make his blink? They got the arena onto the 2 supports. Now he jumps in right into the Mars. He went in for the off-laner, but now he's surrounded by heroes, and he'll be blown up by Ame. Ame, too, was patient, and he waited for his counterpart in Falcons. He waited for Skeeter.
Beautiful patience from Ame on the side of the fight. He waits for the Sven jump, jumps in with ult. No chance to man fight him this early in the game. And he will clean house. The exact team fight XG we're looking for. Started a little differently for them, but a beautiful pin from XXS. You burst down the Ember. That's what you want. Ember or Pango every single time. It's a recipe for success.
And he could have gone for the safe play of the Yules, but it would have been an entirely different fight. The execution was fast, and that's what kept Falcons out of it.
He gets to hold Arena for later on, and that's what's kind of dissuading Skeeter here. Like, he doesn't want to jump this Hoodwink who's already dying. He doesn't want to jump that Blade Mail Quap. He wants the Mars. He got sick cleaves off him, almost kills XM with that angle. But Ame, just better positioning, better moment to jump.
I mean, it all starts with the Ember Spirit pickup, right? He can play the longer game because they're up a man in that regard.
100%.
Skeeter forced to do something. XM trying to force a play here.
Stomp misses.
It covers at least the retreat from XM. Falcons go back to their side of the jungle. Despite the loss in that mid lane, not that big of a net worth lead for Xtreme. We're still keeping this game very tight at 20 minutes, though. Xtreme, they want the Tormentor. They're going to smoke up for it. Falcons will do the same, not to smoke, but trying to defend their territory.
Look at the Basher. Freshly done on Ame. He got it off that fight. Could be super pivotal at locking down these mobile cores here.
Smoke breaks on XXS. XXS not going to blink forward. Doesn't want to go in blind. Now spots snaking, and he'll just pin him. See if they can blow him up with a break. It'll make it a little bit easier, but the heals, man. They can't even burst him down. They just used so many spells and didn't claim the 5 position. They will back out. A good stomp, though, and a pin off of it. They're going to jump in. Ame goes for the kill, and they got him. Amar does what he can, but again, the Rolling Thunder is just not enough to save the life of his buddy. He's got the Yules to defend. XXS trying to stop these kisses. A blink away, and he does manage to prevent any losses there. Falcons, they'll retreat as 4, and Xtreme now own the Tormentor.
Such strong early item timings from XG, and XXS finding the spears time and time again. Just sets everything up in this fight. Malrina's not been able to play a single fight other than him just getting nuked down instantly.
Yeah.
And all of that was off of a casual stomp from X-Nova. That's how this Elder Titan gets you. He can throw the Spirit out, he can wait for a slight, and then he's going to force you to Remnant out or you get stomped, and you don't know what's coming after that stomp. Very little to bail you out of that situation. It's an annoying spell for Malrine to just be sitting under in the middle of the fight. I mean, Amar's the most farmed hero here for Falcons. He's having quite a good game. Just can't find his mark in these engagements.
Ame's not alone down here, but Falcons know it, thanks to the deep wards that they were able to place earlier in the game. Has not allowed them to take control of the match. Going back to the Ember Spirit, though, this is a hero that we haven't actually seen too much of here at TI. Why is that?
I think his early game is still good, but he kind of falls off in that mid game a little bit. He doesn't pack the same punch, and I think players are concerned about his ultra late game scaling sometimes too. Like, yeah, 6 or 7 slots, all these Spirit heroes are crazy, but you compare it to things like the Queen of Pain with the Sonic Wave damage. It's just not the same punch, right? He's kind of an attrition hero. He likes to go in the fight, take the long fight. It feels like a lot of these fights are just decided off a jump. You throw in the nukes, you blow somebody up. It's not Ember Spirit style right now. And now his strength can be just set up for some of these long-range supports. Great hero to combine with the Hoodwinks and the Snapfires that are in this meta. And I think that's what Falcons wanted to do. They just got slowed down.
Yeah, particularly since they don't actually have a save here on the side of Xtreme. There was potential for slight chains kisses to get guaranteed kills, but we didn't see too many of those, and not really on big consequential heroes. And as a result, Ame is up at 13K now.
It's also a hero that takes that mid tower very quickly, and then you kind of collapse the game to that mid lane. You make them fight your Ember when he's really strong. You make their supports engage this hero that they have trouble locking down. I think XG dodged that pretty well. Falcons didn't get a lot out of that, 5 to 15 minute mark as they wanted to, especially with some of the power runes going to Malrine.
Sure, they gave up the mid tower. They didn't actually fight for it. They even denied it themselves, limiting the amount of gold that Falcons got out of it.
They didn't bleed bad kills, which would have snowballed this game, and they won the side lanes. That was a huge component. XXS got off to such a fast start. You could afford to give up something around that mid lane and still feel good about the first 10 minutes here. And now you're cruising into this mid game very even. Still anybody's to take in these fights, and I mean, Roshan's still just sitting there in the pit. Very tempting for both teams.
Absolutely.
We even see the X-Nova Spirit scouting it out. I mean, there is some worry here on XG for Falcons to man up for it if they feel you're on the wrong part of the map.
We are now at that point, by the way, where we're going to get some serious magic resistance problems for Falcons. If Amar is going to build to scale, These supports on the side of Xtreme, you've got the combination of maxed out natural order combined with the deconstruction facet. That's already making a lot of this magic damage be pure. And then you're going to have Hoodwink come in. He's buying up a shard really soon. That boomerang is just going to amp up that magic damage even more. The burst damage is going to go crazy.
If you get a latch off this Mars, that hero is just gone. No hard save in this lineup. At least you have some armor differential from the Sven. You have the shield on the Ember. You have a shield on Pango. You can be tanky in these fights, Enchantress with the sprites. But you are worried about that first point of contact.
Yeah, which means Falcons, I mean, they've been struggling to find the initiation. That's what's been causing them so many issues in these early fights. It always seems like XXS is able to hit first before Amar does. So they either got to find that or they got to start just, you know, playing to farm, playing to scale.
They have BKB Blink on this Sven now, though. This changes it a lot. Now you can let Skeeter go in. He can pick his mark, BKB. You're not afraid of him dying super fast here. And he has level 3 ulti online. He's hitting a really nice power point. Falcons want to use it.
And if they can get a pick off right now with this smoke, then turn it into Roshan, take that away from an Ursa lineup, would be a massive boon for Falcons. They do not find the kill, though, as Xtreme Gaming have already backed up behind their Tier 2, commence with their own smoke play.
They feel that Roche was maybe being forced. They're smoking before Ame finishes his BKB, though they did get the Ags on the Queen and the BKB on the Mars, so they have a nice 2-core item timing to try and take this fight.
They're going to get in position here, but Ame's still going to keep farming up. He's so close to his BKB. I'm sure he's calling to his team, don't force it too much. I'm almost there.
Almost a defensive Roche play. We don't want to do it right now. We want to let Ame farm, but we also don't want you doing it.
Yeah. And if they just stick around, though, okay, they do find one of the wards. There was 2 different very dangerous wards that Falcons managed to get down. That was one in the triangle, the other one being in that lane, off-lane position. Nobody on Xtreme will be caught by that yet.
I mean, these are the types of situations where the ET feels amazing because
it would be really massive. They can catch him, but there's similar ward. Still, though, found by Falcons, at least taking away some vision on both sides. It all comes down to this Roche, man, and we're gonna have BKB cores on both sides.
Xnova, he wants it.
They get the kill on the ward. Amar does not make the jump for it. Skeeter's too far away. Skeeter's just farming away. He doesn't want to fall behind Ame right now in this standoff. Neither carry wants to just fully invest into contesting this Roshan.
But Ame got the finish BKB. They got the double obs without anybody getting punished on that. That's a huge win for XG. That was a big smoke move from Falcons to get those wards up and try and use them to take a fight. You let them go down for free. You have one more around this pit top.
And if Falcons isn't going to make the move, then Xtreme, maybe they'll be the ones to play on the offensive here. The smoke is going to break on the low ground. Snake King making a break for it with his drums, trying to get far enough ahead. XXS, he'll blow the arena for him. Nice Yules, though. That'll dodge a little bit, still hit. Caught by the break, but the heals are so much, they do not still have the burst damage to kill him. They need the Ursa to jump on to Snake King, but he doesn't want to show himself. Synchronized Yulesing for Xtreme Gaming. They'll back away.
They might lose their last ward up here. XXS, they gave him the Ob Sentry. Very smart. Don't sacrifice your positioning on these backline supports.
Xtreme Gaming seem to know Falcons' ward spots very well.
They have no Obs left. This is brutal for them.
An Aghanim Scepter is done for Amar, though. So another peak for Falcons. Perhaps another chance to take matters into their own hands.
The team fight's super strong for both teams. It's just about who jumps first, and that's why the vision's so important. You lost all these wards, whereas XG, they have that ET to do a little scouting.
I mean, at this rate, we're going to get 2 or 3 more items on these carries before we actually get a fight around the Roshan pit.
Nobody wants to man up for it first. You get caught in that pit, it's absolute destruction.
Alreen found. Not pinned. Roll up will stop him, and he dodges away from the stomp. XXS has to use a defensive BKB. Double ults from Falcons for a BKB on XXS. I don't think that gives a clear enough advantage either way for these teams to force it.
Nope. Especially if the Mars gets gone on, you don't have a clear initiation as XG. They do buy a gem, which is interesting considering they just killed 3 wards. I mean, how much vision's left on the map? They really want to secure vision for the fight. Flying out to Xnova right now. But Falcons are getting a lot of items up during this period. Almost level 20 on this event. this Ember is catching up in this game. I mean, that's the upside for Malrine. He's on the best split push hero in this match. He's just going to rat these side lanes down. He will recover his GPM. Continue to scale.
And that's why Xtreme, they're going to force it onto the bit. And it feels like they just have to. Snake King is trying to keep tabs, though. He's got his creep, checking it out every once in a while. But this Roshan is about to swap over to the other side. Not only does it sound like you think that Falcons have gotten the better of this stalemate, but it's also about to flip over to a side where they can play off of buybacks in their outpost.
I don't think the first half of that stalemate was good for them, but I think the second half was. I think XG could have been more aggressive there with how much vision they brought down. Falcons playing a little scared. But now, like you said, that Roche going to the other side, it hurts. Especially if Falcons are willing to commit buybacks here, and you just can't man up for this as Ame. It's way too terrifying.
It's also going to be another Tormentor spawn. He didn't spot the ward. XXS saw a sentry, but the ward is on the other side of the tree there.
It's a good one. Super valuable as this Roche switches sides.
And while Xtreme have all shuttled down to this bottom part of the map, Falcons, they're staying split. Amar's getting a lot of farm out of his top lane. He might actually be able to take that tower at some point in time. As you said, Malrine, best split pusher in the game at this point on the Ember Spirit, so he's enjoying all the farm he's getting out of this situation. It's not much, but Falcons is grinding more and more gold into their favor. Xtreme Gaming, they got to do something about this. They're going to force the Roshan, and Falcons not going to contest. Almost saying that, all right, we delayed it for like 6 minutes. You can finally have it.
It is only the first one, right? Not super valuable here. It's just to progress towards the later Roshans.
Yeah, second Roche is going to be around 41 minutes in.
Very slow for an Ursa lineup.
Yeah.
Still have this tier 1 up mid for Falcons, by the way. This objective has not been claimed by XG either. They're working with less map control right now, which is great for Malrine. Means he gets to push these side lanes in deep, gets a lot of vision control off the mid lane to help him do it. He's enjoying life right now.
And a quick Tormentor kill for Falcons. With Xtreme stuck on the other side of the map. Particularly Xnova, who is always just shadowing Ame everywhere he goes. He's really not able to do anything else.
And I must apologize, Austin. We do have one Helma Dominator. It snuck its way in. I don't know how we allowed it. I guess Jinkyu said this game is going to go late. I'm going to start farming up and pushing some waves. I mean,
Helma Dom Hoodwink? Are you serious, man?
This was probably the least expected one here. You know, you could argue it for the Mars. A lot of these offlaners just wanted to accelerate their game and have the Helm on the lane. But a second item Hoodwink Dominator. I don't think I've ever seen that.
You know what I hate the most is that it just kind of makes sense the way that they're likely to be ratted a bit. Somebody's got to get one on Xtreme. An Aghanim Scepter done for Malrine.
Yeah, he's recovered completely.
Level 18 as well. He's getting real big. Considering how bad his game was, where he just kept getting caught by XXS over and over again. This last 10 minutes, this peaceful 10 minutes, feels like he's actually going to be able to play some Dota. He's going to be able to get to some late game. Now we'll see how well he scales into that point compared to the Queen of the Pain, who is currently XM just about to finish up BKB.
Oh, that
is an aggressive blink.
Great
He got a Yulzov though on the Sven. That delay will not be enough. Too much burst damage coming in from the side. Oh! Third Splitter stops Skeeter. Does Xtreme realize this? They certainly do. A BKB, keep him inside the arena. The Skeeter, he's stuck. Ame will come collect the kill that his team served up on a platter, all because of Xnova. His far sight, he saw it coming the entire way, an Earth Splitter to catch the Sven TP.
Into another D-Ward. This man is absolutely on point right now for XG. And they will take that trade. Taking this Sven off the map will create a larger differential between him and Ame. That's exactly what you want. This Sven-Ursa matchup is generally not fun for the Sven. The farther this Ursa pulls ahead, the harder it is to take that fight. Unless you can go ultra late with refreshers and satanics and that kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
Ame in control of the carry battle right now. Huge pickup for XG. I mean, that was a crazy blink from XM. You just felt like there was going to be an opening there. I guess he's right in the end. Very sacrificial.
And if he doesn't get the Yules off on the Sven, like, even though he dies, that little bit of delay, it made all the difference for Xnova to get there in time.
Very clutch Yules. And these Yules can become Wind Wakers way later in this game.
Yeah, sure.
That's the nice thing about them, and the Wind Waker's amazing against this Falcons lineup.
Still a bit worried, though, even though the Sven has died. We've seen, in particular, yesterday we saw the Ame Sven. 2,500 damage crits. I mean, you can get Wind Wakers, but can you react fast enough to stop that kind of burst damage? Snake King, is this guy just untouchable in this game? What is it? They can kill the Sven, but they can't stop the Enchantress.
I mean, it is called untouchable for a reason.
I guess so.
You should not even waste your time. If Ame's there, it's a quick pick-me-up, right?
Of course, yeah.
But Ame doesn't want to commit his time to take Enchantress off the map. If anything, you just want to threaten Snaking. You know, make him think he can die, so he doesn't push as aggressively. But don't commit so much to actually kill him, and it's a negative network play. Okay.
BKB done for XM. So the next time he aggressively blinks in, he can at least ignore the stuns. We'll see if he can ignore the damage. Ame with an Abyssal Blade, no! Does not get the follow-up bash required for the kill. And he'll try and make use of the last 25 seconds of this Aegis. I thought he was going to just push the tier 2. But Xtreme content with the pace of the game as it is.
No,
they're going to smoke to the other side. Never mind. They're going to go. They're baiting out XM right now.
They want blood right now. Aegis is going to expire, but they finished that Abyssal. They finished Hex on the Mars and the BKB on the Queen. Huge item timing for XG. They're looking to strike. I mean, this has kind of been the MO of this game. Both teams hit their item time as they look for a play, but the other team recognizes it and they dodge that moment until they get to theirs. At some point, that bounce will break here.
Well, now some of that magic amp that we were talking about is still going to be effective, but there is a pipe.
Huge item
on Snake King. Big pickup for him.
Yeah, the aura is worth so much here.
This is kind of a weird positioning. We swap places. And it's going to be Xtreme breaking the smoke, going into their own jungle, waiting on the side device initiation onto the Pango, and the Earth Splitter's on top of it with so much magic damage. He is burst down.
Shard stomp in with the boomerang. See you later. No one is surviving that play. And that is all a glimpse of him off of that ET Spirit vision.
Yeah.
That's all it takes for you to get insta-jump from the Hex.
But what do you do with this pickoff?
What do Falcons try and do here? They're looking on this ward. They have Daedalus on Skeeter.
XXS still has BKB, but they got the sun on him, and from behind, a big crit from Skeeter takes out XXS. The Sonic Wave on 3, Yules up in the air for crit. Skeeter makes a run for it with his BKB, but XM will still pounce on both supports, trying to slow them down, hoping that they can at least get one of them here. Snake King pulled back in, and finally Ame shows up to the fight to claim Snake King's head. He'll get one out of this.
Nice pickoff for Falcons. They get this Mars off the map. They do pay a little bit of a price. But once Ame shows up to that fight, you're not taking it unless Skeeter is confident that the control is going to come through.
Yeah, considering that BKBs didn't have to be used for Xtreme, this is a very deadly point. No Pango, everything up for Xtreme. Being able to take the Mars off the bat, like you said it, like there's not really that much initiation for Xtreme if there is no Mars.
They did get another D ward off that though. Falcons are losing a lot of wards to make these plays. It's really adding up.
You combine lack of vision with the Elder Titan, the vision advantage that Elder Titan's going to give you. It caused some problems, but those problems, they can at least wait another minute or two, because really there's no objectives until Roshan is up. They want to take this tier 2. I'm sure Falcons wouldn't care that much about it. Ame tries to go fishing with this haster and see if he can find some hero up here farming up jungle.
I mean, this Hoodwink Dom has done some work. Jin-Q mega farm now. Finished an entire Lincoln Sphere. I wouldn't say it's the best Lincoln Sphere game. Not really good against the Pango Ember here.
Yeah, you're stopping the Sven stun.
That is it. You are trying to throw this on Ame or XM, maybe even XXS, who's been getting jumped a lot. If you block that Sven stun, could be a huge deal in the fight, but it's a very expensive investment to look just for that.
Yeah. I mean, there's maybe little things like blocking out a Yules during an enrage timing for an Ursa or something like that. It could go a long ways.
Could come into play, absolutely.
Level 25s are right around the corner for both of our carries. That's going to be a bit spooky as Roshan. We're in that potential spawn period. Both teams are going to be playing around this area.
High
Top part of
damage
the pit.
talents for both of these carries. Like the burst damage just becomes insane. To me, if the fight goes long, this Queen could be a big problem for Falcons. In theory, their answer to a long fight is, Pango Ember, bringing that same sort of attrition, just constant spell spam.
Yeah.
But the way the fights have been going is, it feels like one of those cores just gets bursted. I think you still want to jump this Sven in to almost give them better entry into the fight.
If you get to a Satanic and then Ember Spirit continues to scale, do you think that flips to the other side at some point? That longer fights can still work for Falcons because the Ember mostly?
Oh, I think they can. It's just execution.
Sure.
You kite out those little moments. Can you dodge the jump from Ame? Does someone control him when he's trying to go in and burst that target while he's committing BKB? Small things like this make all the difference. Can you find supports at the start of the engagement? You take X-Nova out, you remove a lot of the amp damage in this lineup.
Falcons not to find anything. A pickoff there could have led to control the Roshan pit. A swift blink Ame Ursa.
He's so farmed. All he needs is that level 25. He's prepared for this next fight. 50 seconds for that Roche spawn. Pretty fast one. Falcons just trying to control the vision they have. They have this one ward towards mid. They have a gem up. Trying to hold this high ground. There's a sneaky Radiant ward behind this tree line over here too. Could be really pivotal if you scout someone in the river.
Oh, yeah.
Not an easy obs to D-ward. XG just waiting. They're playing patient right now. Trying to finish up the last few items to go into this next Roshan battle. It's going to be A on disc for XM. Something to watch out for. He gets jumped by the Sven. He assembles that disc. The jump is gone.
And you pretty much can't afford a bad jump for this Sven, right? It almost feels like the fight is over if he jumps the wrong person and can't kill them.
Or if he jumps, stuns, goes to hit, Ame jumps, abyssals him. That's an easy turnaround.
Sure.
Actually, you're going to throw out the Sonic Waves. Arena's going to hit someone in the back. Skeeter going in here is very difficult, but he almost has to, the way the lineup functions.
Has to pick and choose his battles, and he's going to go for XM, but I think they know about the Aeontis. They have not jumped after this initiation from Amar. What a read from Falcons, but XM holds off on putting the Aeontis together. They'll TP away on the Rolling Thunder. They tried to get something. That was just such a smart play on both sides. XM, I mean, the balls did not put that Aeontis together when you're being sent up by Rolling Thunder, knowing there could just be a Sven that one-shots you. But he refuses to do it.
He knows Ame has his back on that counterplay. He knows if Skeeter jumps, he will pay a big price there.
And they have damage for his Sven. Maybe they get the Roshan. But Falcons, I think they still want to force this fight. They're going to try it. Malray, and he just throws straight in. Decide the vice on him. Here comes that spear. But the Sven, with the amp damage, where is he? He isn't able to get there in time, and now he's been hit by the Yules. He gets the grab onto the Queen of Pain. XM gets off the Aeontis! Keeps himself alive, and he blinks away from Skeeter. The initiation has gone all wrong, and now begins the fight. It doesn't fight for long. Ame and his claws will rip through the Sven armor. They'll find another with XXS, a pin against the wall, and Amar, he'll fall as well.
Beautiful kiting from XG. The control on the Sven, stalling up his jump to follow that Ember Spirit. And such clutch hexes from XXS. This guy's control has been on point this entire tournament. Such a strong team fight from XG. Their burst damage is just insane. Malray, he took so much there, but that ET amps it all up. You get hit by that Earth Splitter. One last bash from the Ursa and you're gone. Nobody to bail you out of that situation. A deep dive goes wrong for him.
And if Xtreme win this game one, I mean, what are you gonna do if you're the coach? What are you gonna do if you're the drafter? AUI 2000. Amar, he doesn't want to ban Mars. That's his hero.
You gotta take it away from him.
Yeah, you're gonna be put in that corner where you have to take it. And we may see if Xtreme have answers to it, but first they have to close out this game one to make that happen. And they may have a big lead. 9,000 net worth, 3.5 minutes left on the Aegis. Falcons are known to be able to stall out games. XXS, he's landed a number of initiations. They'll find another one. Ame leads the way with the Abyssal Blade, and XXS follows through. Another 60 seconds where Falcons will not have all their heroes alive.
So much gold for XG in this period. I mean, they can start buying up some luxury items now. There's the refresher for the Mars. Could be another Hex on this Hoodwink. Balrine's life is just not getting any easier. It didn't start easy in this game, and it doesn't feel like it's getting any better. It's just so much control for him to play through, and this is kind of the downside of Ember. He doesn't pack a big enough punch to go in and be a threat during his BKB that XG can't deal with it. So you have to play for the long fight. Yeah, somebody is getting caught in the control, and nobody is challenging this Ame Ursa right now. He is just running a rampage through this game. Ag's done as well. How do you kill this guy? Feels impossible.
Kinda does. I mean, you're gonna have to wait 2.5 minutes because killing him is gonna take some sort of initiation, and I don't think they'll be able to pull that off twice. I mean, they have like no instant stuns. The best you have is Sven, Blink, melee range, Stormhammer.
But that, he has
Rolling
Ags.
Thunder, Blink initiation, but
You cannot jump him anymore. It's impossible. He will always get Ags and Rage off. You have no silences to prevent it.
yep.
Like you said, 2 minutes on this Aegis XG. They can force high ground again. They can look for that game-ending fight.
So their only option as Falcons is to make the jump on the Ursa, reset, and high ground defense is the best possible place to make a play like that, right?
Yep, especially if you can abuse buybacks. It's one way to try and force that team fight win. They do not have a lot available right now. It's only that Ember Spirit. Sometimes it's enough with the high ground positioning. Ideally, you make a jump on somebody, you take them down, you reset, and then this Pango can control Ursa a little bit with the Basher, the Ags rolls going through. It's kind of your hope right now that ATF has a monster team fight on this high ground.
Well, you said luxury items were coming in. They're here for a couple more heroes. XM with the Shivas. The sight device on the Hoodwink, which is not required for yet another Enchantress kill. No problems killing her now. Now that Ame is playing in the front line, Skeeter's going to make his jump. Gets off the enrage on Ame. Skeeter got that much out of him. But you got that. But you still want to be able to play with the God Strike, but they jump in anyway. Skeeter, he wanted a fight, but he didn't think it was going to start that way with him dead and gone. And what are you going to do now? It's up to Maureen and Amar. They're going to have to pull through this fight for you. You buy back on the Sven, but he won't have the God Strength. They're kiting around Ame as best as possible right now. XM, Yules, he dodged out the Stormhammer, and he's gonna have a blink up in a second. He still has his BKB. A nice pin from the low ground from XXS. A buyback's being used from Falcons, from all these heroes, but they've got nothing for it. They killed a Hoodwink at best. They took out Roadkill, and that's all.
You have to get more there for a triple buyback. The Sven one is not going to be the most impactful, but you bought both supports. You took an extended fight. For once, Maureen does survive the Hex burst attempt, gets BKB off, has some impact, 3,000 damage, but you can't burst any of these targets down. You can't wear through the front line here. This Bear is just too much of a menace right now. You need more sustain, you need more damage. There's another great shard for XG to pick up. I don't think I've seen a spear miss outside of maybe the one top on that open arena. Just hit every single one. There's another Aeon Disc for this Sven to deal with. No nullifier in sight.
Level 25 on XXS, 180 HP regen inside the Arena of Blood. But if they can take him out of the equation right away, no Aeon Disc! Where is he going to throw out this arena? He's waiting out the BKBs. He knows Skeeter's going to expire soon, and now he's got it. First the sight, then the spear, then the damage that Ame brings to the table.
A dieback on the Sven. Falcons crumbling. No answer for Ame and his jump.
XXS doing his best, even an Outworld staff there. Double daggers to slow him down. Ame still finding more. He first catches Snake King. No buybacks there. He chases after Crit. Another hero to fall on the side of Falcons. Double cookies where they can. And they're chasing after the Ember Spirit on the same side.
Supports are just killing him.
Supports taking out the Ember Spirit.
X-Nova Boss just man-fighting the Falcons mid. Back up from Jinkyu. That's a free kill. Mallory did not expect the damage, but there's that magic amp combination. It's just so nasty when he's on top of you. And now Ame, he gets a free trip to the high ground. Says, thanks for the setup, boys. All clean house.
Amar broke through. He's sitting on the other side of the map going, I can't cut all these waves. Xtreme Gaming, they're going to get Megas out of this. They should be able to end the game. Unless Falcons, I mean, I don't even know what they have to do here. I mean, Amar, they do manage to get back to a protection up. But the mid lane is going to push in. XM's got that covered. Unless Amar can get there with the Rolling Thunder. He's not popping. He's trying with the swashbuckle. It's stopped by XM. Now he has the Rolling Thunder. See if he can kill the creep wave. They pop the Glit. They pop the Sonic Wave even. Anything to protect the creeps. Amar still gets it though, and he makes a blink away. He makes a swift retreat. Did he just buy Falcons the time they needed?
Backdoor should come up here.
Glit goes up.
This will guarantee it. Amar with some nice moves on this mid lane. Stalls for the other heroes to come back up.
Can Xtreme Gaming get through the backdoor protection though? They're going to try. A Sun Divine. Nope, they got the Invisible Blade initiation on Maureen. And Maureen dead for 2 minutes. Maybe it doesn't matter how much time you buy Ame. He seems to be eternal at this point in time. 11, 1, and 10. He will stand here as long as it is needed to finish out this game.
Or take the easier road, go get that bottom lane in. Free up that last Rax. You're looking at Megas very shortly here. They know that's a dieback on this Ember.
A butterfly coming in for him. All right.
All on ATF here. Refresher delivered for the Pango. Does have the 25 talent. He has got to get in here and do some serious damage in the fight.
Falcons, they did their shenanigans, but the backdoor protection is going to go down again unless they can jump the Ursa now and kill him. This is going to be Megas. Try and get something out of it.
Gotta go.
Even a BKB. There goes the Rolling Thunder. There goes Ian Rachel with a BKB turnaround. Skeeter, he's got to run, but he's pushed back in by the Sonic Wave into the claws of the bear. He will be pulverized. A hit in for the Rolling Thunder, but XM, he's still at Eon to be able to work with. A shot coming in. Shin Q, not even required. Ame is all the damage you need at this point for Xtreme Gaming to close out the game, and they will take the lead in the series of the TI Finals.
A confident Game 1 victory.
Said it was going to be one of the heroes of the tournament. As time goes on, people are going to remember that this hero is a beast in the late game. You agree with his assessment that X-Nova's Elder Titan is just a tier above the rest?
Oh, absolutely. He's one of the OG players on this hero. He has been playing it for years and years. He has a lot of experience on it. And you need that experience because this hero is all about hitting that stun or Earth Splitter at the exact right moment in the fight. If you mess it up, you're not contributing a whole lot. This is a really nice tool XG has brought out in this series, and one Falcons are going to have to address. They're trying to address it through the laning phase, giving him bad lane matchups, giving him supports that are difficult to interact with, also mid laners that are really mobile. Sometimes the CT can suffer with direct lockdown compared to a lot of other hard stunning supports. That Game 1, though, it did not push through, and we saw some big plays coming out from X-Nova, especially with this Hoodwink ET duo. They get it again here in the Game 2. Falcons did not deny this combination, so you're going to have that insane spell amp, and you have this puck to play off of it. A lot of long-range artillery coming out from this XG lineup.
It really does go to show how amazing a player X-Nova is he wasn't even originally on this roster. Filling in for Pelosin, he's managed to step up. Of course, he's got a history of synergy with Ame, and there's no doubt about it that he is a top-tier TI caliber player. But it is amazing that Xtreme Gaming have managed to fit him into the lineup so effortlessly.
It's up to Falcons to fight back. Down a game, not out of it yet. They want a strong laning phase here, as the panel mentioned. A lot of fast-paced heroes in this Falcons lineup, a lineup that could absolutely just end this game going high ground at that 25-30 minute mark, particularly with this Abaddon pick for Skeeter. I think they had a couple options in that last slot.
Ame into trouble. Falcons, are they going to claim first blood this time? The Quill, not enough, and X-Nova gets the kill on Crit first. You're happy with the trade-off of support for core, but Falcons just single digits away from first blood.
Amar would have liked that 100 bonus gold there. Won't get it in time, but still happy with the laning prowess that they're asserting. This is looking like a triple lane win for Falcons, exactly what they want with these Enchantress-oriented lineups.
And that's quite a turn from Game 1, where we saw very early on, it was Xtreme getting the CS advantage in the first couple minutes.
I think a lot of that was that Mars. Like, that first pick Mars, I think, caught him off guard a little. It set the pace straight out of the gate. XXS had a very fast start on that hero. He was just so far ahead out of that lane phase. The Beast is going to be a little slower here, especially into the Enchantress. Not a fun lane. You can't abuse the boards as strongly. You have to go the Axis build. Abaddon can shield it off. Not a fun lane for this Beast to fight into. And this Bristle can be annoying for the Clinks. It's one of the few melee heroes that can cause you problems because he can chase you down. He can build the stacks up. And Clinks, his tankiness comes online later in the lane, not on those super early levels.
Oh, that damage is building up. X-Nova, he's just going to work right now. Crit gives him the tonic, but it's not enough. Amar still falls. They both get dangerously low. Ame ends up going down in the end. And this dagger lands.
Dodge. Might go back in.
And X-Nova, he's now going to challenge him. Crit, he's got another dagger coming up, but he still has that whip. X-Nova can challenge him, especially with the healing salve going. This is going to be a decent amount of miss CS. X-Nova shows Crit on the chase.
It's a big mana from XG on this lane. You go all in with that ET, you're committed. You got to get something out of that. That was very close with the Quill stacks building up. XG strike back. Put Ame back in a solid position. Finishes the full Falcon Blade. Malrine doing his usual Primal Beast shenanigans here.
Yes, that is what you can expect from a Primal Beast pickup for Falcons. It almost doesn't matter what the matchup is, just because he can always cut the lanes.
That's
cut between the mid-tier 2 and farm up neutrals at the same time.
It's interesting they put this deep dire jungle ward, almost expecting these primal rotations through that jungle.
Right.
I don't think it's a move Malrine would have committed to, but just getting vision on him helps you play the map a little bit better. Expecting the shenanigans, perhaps.
Malrine, as a result, is up in both CS and experience, so he might get to that level 6 first. We'll see what commences if Falcons try and make a play off of him into the mid lane, or if we're going to see Malrine make the rotation.
I think you make the rotation this game. I think that's why you pick Primal. You can rotate these side lanes super successfully. You can just keep pulling waves. You can be off map for a long time. That move can be difficult to read. And you have some pretty decent side lanes to kill. Going in on this Clinks, going in on the Beastmaster, building momentum for your two side laners could be really nice in this style of game.
That was the first thing I thought when I saw a Clinks pickup into the Primal Beast. I was like, okay, that is a bold move, because this Primal Beast is probably going to be trying to hunt down this Clinks non-stop in the first 20-30 minutes.
It's a great target for Malrine. If you can connect once or twice, it's going to feel great here. Not a lot of defensive options for Ame if he just gets trampled on.
Be a whole lot easier if they could get a power rune, in particular something like an Arcane or Haste rune. Malrine. Will it spawn top for Malrine, or will it go bottom for XM? It's an Invis rune for Malrine, so Malrine does get it, but not the biggest power rune in the world in this early game.
I was hoping for something more aggressive there, but he'll take it. And he's having a way better start here than he did in that game one. And I think he's on a hero that can just impact the fight a lot more directly. We don't see Ember for a reason, and I think it was odd that Falcons ended up in a position where they were last picking Malrine's hero. Very rare for them in this tournament. If you go back and look at all the games, right, they have been just jamming his hero early. A lot of these mid-melee brawlers. So having this setup probably feels a lot more comfortable for them. They're able to draft accordingly. Lane pressure building up on the safe lane with the Enchantress as X-Nova trying to threaten that Shrine Steal, but I think it's way too difficult to man up here.
I like that. He pulls the hard camp too early, so it'll be difficult for Crit to be able to re-pull it at the right time for another stack. This bottom lane, though, is being pressured heavily. They're just going to run over Xinkyu and set up for the Wisdom Shrine. That's going to be a double for Falcons. They got this last time.
Perfect move from Malrine. At the exact point in this game you want that mid to get over there. Set that kill up. Double Wisdom Shrine. Do to XG what they did to you last game with Ame taking it away. And set your supports up for success here. Very fast start for this Falcons lineup.
XM will do what he can to pressure the mid tower, but it's just not the same as, say, a Dragon Knight.
Oh, not even close. I mean, his best tool is to counterplay the Malrine Beast, Primal Beast around the map with the coil. But a move like that's just too fast. There's no ability to react. And you need damage to follow up on your coil to bring him down in this game. He's already up to 1200 HP, 10 armor. Puck cannot kill this hero alone. You need support. Losing Wisdom Shrines means the damage from your support duo is going to come out way later in this game. No Earth Splitter, no Sharpshooter for a long time. More space, more time for Malrine to just rampage around the map. This could be a free tower last hit. There
Secured. Illusion rune for XM, so we're getting a lot of the the lesser power runes out of here, which means it's going to be a whole lot more important to get that 10 and 12-minute one for either side. Another same defensive jungle ward there to spot out these aggressive rotations now that they've given up the top tower. Certainly going to see a lot more heroes occupying this space.
You can continue to dodge here, but ultimately you're going to have to find something to get levels on your supports. Just a little bit behind right now, and it's killing your offensive playmaking ability. There's just no threat on these heroes around the map. I mean, this Enchantress is already almost 6.5. Raindrop, full wand, Sister Shroud, untouchable, 2 points in the heal. He's already unkillable. We saw Snake King become a nuisance late game. He's kind of already there. No one's bringing him down. It's in theory going to be Ame again later on a hero that can bring the Enchantress down, similar to that Ursa, but that's a long ways away, so the King can play very aggressive in this early game.
Stomp on Amar. The puck is making his way over here. So they can just hold him here long enough that the puck arrives. And Orb, he jumps in, hits the coil. Can they finish him off? XM going to be slowed down and feared by Crit. Good response from Falcons. Pushes XM away. The play just didn't really come together quite at the same time. The puck just too far away to take advantage of the early bushwhack.
That almost felt like the play call was, let's just kick this guy out.
Yeah.
We know we can't really kill him, but we'll get him low, we'll kick him out. It'll free up some space for the Clinks. These strength cores are going to be a nuisance to bring down this game. Back to Falcons MO, right? Spam the triple strength core, build the EHP up, get a pipe behind him, get some auras. It's going to be an insane amount of tank ability. Yeah, that's not happening either. And this is the aggressiveness that Snake King can play with for the first 20 minutes here. He's totally invincible. Just run on XG side of the map, give vision, steal camps, threaten the pokes behind the tier 1s, get the wards in deep places that are going to set up further plays for your team. This is all information that Malrine can play off of. It's all power runes that are automatically being secured from him just off the presence of this Enchantress that nobody wants to deal with right now.
Xnova, he's a bit surrounded here. The daggers into the viscous nasal goo, okay. And he can't TP out either because Crit is ready to stop that one, so his life is kind of forfeit here. There's that fear. And Falcons up 2,000 net worth. This is looking way more like a Falcons game. They get an advantage off the laning phase. Now they're going to start building that, and they're going to bully you with that net worth advantage with their strength heroes. I mean, they're already tough to kill, but you get a net worth advantage on top of that. Overwhelming.
This is what they wanted to happen in Game 1. They're getting it in Game 2, so now they get a chance to play their style of Dota against XG up 3K. Now, so much of that on this Bristleback. If ATF is the most farmed hero in the game, I think your chance to win it goes up considerably. This is this man in his element. He is the best in the world at playing this carry style off lane. He is in prime position to do just that. Going first item Lotus, going to be a little early tank ability and utility here. Great scaling against the Beastmaster Roars. You're almost always going to want it at some point in the game. Of course, you get a little regen to boost up your farm speed. And XG still looking for the support ults here, man. It's just been mega delayed.
Yeah, without that, they simply do not have a way to stop this Bristleback from farming right in front of their tier 2. They need Xinqiu badly to get to his 6 and get the sharpshooter for the extra bit of burst of damage, for the break mechanic. There's so many things that it provides. Same goes with the Elder Titan, right? The biggest damage spell he has is that Earth Splitter. The fact that their Wisdom Shrines got taken away from them is causing them more and more problems.
They also, again, going straight Helm on this Hoodwink, potentially for Xinqiu. They have a Helm on the Beast. They do have some split push stall mechanisms, right? If you can get these items up, start pushing the lanes into Falcons, make these immobile cores show on parts of the map they don't want to, that could be a way to slow this game down and just get to some more scaling on your tri-core here. Especially if you can defend this tier 1 mid. Biggest pressure point on the map right now, tier 1 mid for XG. Can you keep this tower alive, protect Ancients for XXS, protect the upper jungle area for Ame as Amar starts to assert his advantage. He finishes this Lotus, you might see that smoke towards mid, especially with the Primal Beast blink.
Have you ever seen a Helm Dom creep on a Skeleton Warrior?
I don't think I have. It's not the
Big
strongest
Brother
boy.
Skeleton, man.
It's going ham. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, not the best play considering it does time out. XXS will need a few more seconds to grab another one, but fortunately because of his double Sage's mass, he just doesn't doesn't seem to run out of mana, so he's just throwing wild axes around non-stop. So despite Falcons getting that early advantage, it does seem like Xtreme are prepared for this kind of grind. They're just playing very efficient jungle right now.
But are you prepared for Arcane Rune Blink Primal Beast smoking at you on the map?
I'm not sure if anybody is prepared for that much.
I mean, this is where Malrine can break the game open. If he finds a couple big 4 kills.
Backs away, but they know where he's going. He's headed to farm some neutrals. Just outside. He just used an orb. Perfect timing. Get the grab on him while the orb is done. Chain up the disables. Push him into the wheel.
Nice connection. Perfectly executed. That's an Arcane Rune, so all your cooldowns coming up again in 20 seconds here. We could see another fast play come out from Malrine on the map.
I think the funniest part about that is that play is disguised by the fact that the Enchantress is hitting your mid tier 2 or tier 1. So they're not sure if there's a smoke play behind the Enchantress where if somebody shows they're going to get jumped, or if they're actually smoking around the map variously.
I mean, look at Snaking. He's once again just posting up solo in this triangle, daring XG to come kill him. Knows there is no response.
And apparently Skeeter's going to do the exact same thing. A push to X, but a Hurricane to push him back into the shrine. Crazy little micro plays going on. Snaking slowed down by XM, but it doesn't matter. They simply just do not have the damage anywhere on Xtreme. They have to land a stomp and then follow through with all the setup that they got.
And there's the Bristle rotation to mid. ATF, he gets it for free here. All the attention drawn to another lost Wisdom Shrine. The XP difference in this game is insane. We are already up to 7 levels, 27% at 14 minutes. What is that?
This is
disgusting.
This is turning into a very one-sided affair.
But you're about to have both these Radiant supports the same level as your hard carry on the side of XG. That is not good news for the team fight. XG, it's almost getting to the point where you are desperate for any sort of kill just to gain some momentum in this game. Trying to find it with XM on mid, but this is not the man.
Not even close. Not even close.
This is the last person on this map you should be going into right now. He is the hardest to kill for the gain you're getting, which is extremely minimal. Snaking just controlling so much of this mid area. XG getting frustrated with it. Just gotta play for your Beastmaster Ags, Deso on Ame, and try and go with that damage.
Yeah, maybe a little bit later on, Ame, he'll be able to take the Enchantress off the table at the start of these fights, whether it's, you know, through the break into actually attacking the Enchantress or through the shard later on where you could bypass that untouchable. But for now, it's simply not a solution. And as a result, Falcons, they've got full control of this game. They're just running around picking off heroes. Xtreme are fighting for scraps. They little guerrilla warfare. They're hitting these camps variously and hitting the mid lane and just running away as soon as they can.
They have heroes that can solo show on waves, and there's not much you can do about it. The Enchantress is one, but also this Skeeter Abaddon, he has just been chilling out here the whole time. Nobody can force him off this wave. Absolute free farm. The Radiance is done. He's going into the Manta. He will give you the lane shove because of how aggressively he can show. XG need to assert some sort of threat on the map right now to regain control. It probably starts with the puck into the support ultimates. Looking down bottom, but again, this is another tough target to go into with this Abaddon. You cannot prevent the ult going off here. And that buys a lot of time for Falcons to support him off of the tier 1 that is still standing. All 3 towers available. In fact, this tower is basically 100% HP down here.
When you make this sort of play, the slower it is, the worse it gets. Mid tier 2 is being pushed. Top tier 2 is being pushed. Nobody on Xtreme is showing except for Ame. And I think Skeeter and Malrine, they've made a read of this. They know they're going to go for Skeeter. And this is going to go real bad, potentially. They get the grab, and already the squirrel is gone. And the Abaddon is back up to full HP. Xtreme Gaming make their first big move of the game, and they're going to lose 3 heroes and get absolutely nothing in return.
And a double kill for Malrine, 5-0. This is basically going to finish up that BKB. This has been clinical control of the map from Falcons. This is what they're known for. This is their style at Dota. They just give you nothing. They present an unkillable sight across the map. You want to go on this Bristle? Be my guest. You want to go on Enchantress? Good luck. Go on the Abaddon? The play's too easy to read.
Why is this game 2 so much different than game 1? Because last time, Ame was just able to play his own game and has nothing really to do with the carries, right? Xtreme were able to run around as 4 and do a lot.
I think it's the Wisdom Shrine difference, right?
Yeah.
Supports for Xtreme got their ults faster, were able to make more plays off it. They had a faster hero in the offlane to enable it in the Mars versus the Beast. That just sets everything up way better. The laning phase went better for them. Here, Falcons, they got the better of the laning phase. They got all the shrines. Their supports were able to assert dominance around the map a little quicker. And all these small things add up immensely in the highest pressure situation. The map can close real fast on you.
It feels kind of weird because we have seen this trend where these games are going so late. Teams are adjusting and trying to make sure that they have scale in their squad. But it seems like this matchup, it's going to be both about scale and laning phase.
You can't ignore it. And it's a trap. Like, you want to play for the scale because that's what's going to make you feel comfortable, especially in a grand final. But you risk getting run over. You are going to sacrifice some of your laning. You're going to sacrifice some of your ability to fight back around these tier 1s. And Falcons are not a team that's afraid of taking advantage of that.
Oh yeah, they're just going to do Roshan right in front of your face. And Xtreme,
no response.
I don't think there is, yeah. I think that the most you have is the Spirit going in, slowing him down every once in a while, and every single time he does, it comes at a risk. He might get found by Maureen at some point.
Items are just way too fast here. I mean, BKB done on Primal Crimson for ATF on this Bristle. That is a debilitating item for Ame this early in the game. Yeah, you have the Deso to kind of punch through with some minus armor, but this Clinks is not dealing big DPS like an Ursa or a Sven. He needs more right clicks to get the job done, and this Crimson is just going to completely take you out of the fight.
Yep. Now we're going to see some of this classic Ame and Yatoro Clinks where once they pick up the shard, they're going to start bursting down waves and then disappearing off the map. So it will start to become harder and harder for Falcons to maintain control, to keep Xtreme locked on their side of the map, to keep them down in net worth.
We are seeing it flatline a little bit. I mean, they got a lot of this bottom half of the map back in their control. Got to start ratting it out of it. No way you can take a head-on fight right now. Xnova looking to steal this. He's set up here with a ward.
I don't even know how he would do that with Elder Titan of all heroes.
I mean, we got to pause right as the Spirit hits. If I'm crit, I'm like, yo, where the hell is the Spirit coming from right now?
Yeah.
Maybe they just don't care, though. That's a nice little shard for the Ringmaster.
Do you think they buy an early gem? You just start looking around. I mean, anything to take wards off and find the Clinks as Ame's moving around. I feel like that's the only thing that really can stall out the game for Falcons and stall out their progression.
I could see early gem in this game, particularly because you have cores you can give it to that are invincible.
Yeah.
I mean, the Enchantress can always hold it, but if you want to put it on the front line with the Bristol or the Abaddon, maybe even the Primal, they're such an indomitable threat right now. There's no risk of losing this gem in your mind. I would love an early gem here. Take the vision control like we saw XG do in game 1. Choke them out on the map, threaten the Clinks even more in the team fights. You just aren't going to be able to get those good angles.
And what's the timing here for Xtreme to actually, take a team fight? Is that 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes from now? How long do they have to stall this game before they can finally fight?
I mean, honestly, at this point, if you're not losing a net worth advantage, in other words, if you are trading farm evenly on the map, you do that for as long as possible.
Okay.
Like, I don't think there is a clear point. It's just we need to stall this game, use the DOMs, get to a point where we can start to threaten cores in this game, because that's your biggest problem. And that's going to require a lot of damage.
We didn't do much to interrupt the Tormentor, but he did leave Falcons on a little merry chase. And then after that, his ward spotted out this smoke. So they go through the gate, they try and chase after these heroes, but Xtreme are all vacating the area. They're not going to be caught in this. Well, maybe their Helmet Dom creep will. But even Jin-Q, yep, breaking more smokes, playing underneath the Watcher. Very smart.
You cannot lose Double Shrine again in this game. Ame needs to get this one.
Okay, maybe that was sticking around for too long there. He already broke the smoke, but Jin-Q, cheeky as always, was trying to play inside the trees. Does get found. That is the advantage of the Primal Beast. He can cut through these trees anytime he wants to.
Very nice hero to find these rat around the map. Even scaring XM off this mid, just so hard to get the lane control. This will pick up though. I mean, you have an incredible lineup to split the lanes up right. Between the Puck and the Clinks, very elusive, very hard to catch here. Even Hoodwink can contribute a little bit, especially if he goes to Helmet Dom build. there's some decent hope if you're XG to just stall this game out and not let that lead build.
And Amar takes some tier 2s. You take that tier 2, you take the outpost, more and more map control. And you almost wonder, like, would Falcons be strong enough to just hit high ground and say, you know, you have to fight us?
I think Amar is strong enough, honestly.
Yeah, well, we saw he wasn't scared of the high ground whatsoever. Farmed the creep wave underneath the tier 3, joins his team to the mid tier 2.
The thing is, Falcons can absolutely go high ground. They've built all the early utility. You have sustain from Enchantress. You have shields from a bat. I think they will make this play. And that is the downside for the rat action from Xtreme. You're not going to have time to see this style through. You can keep farming the side lanes. Puck and Beast are on the edges of the map. Your base is dying. You have to take this fight.
Somebody's got to kill this mid wave. And then somebody's got to cut the next wave.
No one's in position to do that.
No. So the other option is you either concede this mid lane of barracks at 22 minutes, or you actually play to fight.
Falcons got what they wanted. Everybody back to the base. Except for this XXS Beastmaster stayed out. They will try and hunt him, clear him out of the map.
Yeah, he's getting so close to BKB, and that would be a really big upgrade to their team fight potential.
He's going to run into crit. Try and roar and kill him here?
Yeah, Maureen, he's going to jump in, and he gets grabbed on XXS. No roar goes out just yet. The roar's still available, though. XXS, he can throw it out now, and he'll TP away. The whip is going to be there in time. The TP, ill-advised for XXS. He tries to chase down crit, but it just will not work for him. Kited out by the constant daggers. Meanwhile, Lamar still hitting your tier 3s. He's chipped it away just a bit more, and now that there's no Beastmaster, it feels like the gates are wide open.
They're trying to stall his damage, but he has just planted himself here. Truly invincible on this front line. Still 20 seconds for that Aegis. The early itemization gives him so much tank ability at this point in the game before the late game Flink scaling comes online.
And there's the gem at 24 minutes. Staking buys one. We'll see if he passes it off to somebody else or if he holds on to it.
I'm gonna take your pick.
The Aegis does expire, so Falcons, they won't get a lane of barracks out of this Aegis. Likely to wait out for the second one. That has been Falcons' MO. When they get in a lead like this, we saw it in the road to TI. I mean, they are willing to just build up an absurd net worth lead. Doesn't always work out for them, but it usually does.
I think this will be a little bit of a difficult game to do that if you just play the map straight up. If you're constantly forcing XG to respond to something, either high ground or Roshan, Torment, or whatever it is, that's what's going to build you the lead. But you haven't seen them catching the big cores on the sides of the map. The Bristle's not equipped to do it, the Abaddon's not equipped to do it, so you're really relying on the Primal Beast, and he also has to keep his farm up to continue scaling here. It's just very difficult to catch the Puck and the Clinks out on the sides.
We get to BKB on the Beastmaster. We get to Nullifier. That's going to be the item choice for Ame. The panel brought this item up as a crucial item in a matchup against some of these Falcons heroes. Does that change the narrative a little bit?
You remove the Escape Act presence. You remove a lot of the buffs that are going out on these heroes. Does let you more confidently single target focus a hero down with Nullifier plus Primal Roar connecting on somebody.
I mean, you stop the save, but can you threaten the hero in the first place is my question, I guess.
Well, that was actually close. I mean, if you can't threaten him, then the teamfight's just out the window anyway, right? So you have to believe you have enough single target DPS, and this will set you up to convert that single target DPS into a guaranteed kill. I think it is the correct idea here. There's always going back to X-Nova here on the ET as well, right? Like, if you need damage, this is the hero that can give it to you.
Yes.
Now, BKBs can be annoying. It's blocking out a lot of your aura. You know, you're going to have to get through the Abaddon life. You're not probably going on the Enchantress, but some of these other heroes, you throw that Earth Splitter and you amp them up. You get on top of them with everybody. Sharpshooter through, break the Bristle. Interactions like this, you can bring a target down in this game and open up that fight. Refresher already done on Mulry. He loves this Rush Refresher build.
Yeah.
A bit tight on the mana, but if you're getting every power rune, you got a couple Arcane Boots behind you, it absolutely can work in the fight.
And Xtreme Gaming, they bought their own gem, and we're thinking about their own push outside of the base. maybe to catch Falcons unawares, but Falcons, they're already kind of grouped up. They're playing off the smoke of their own and clearing through vision and getting some very good high ground vision themselves. Running into the Beastmaster. You see him at a distance. XXS making a break for the base. His Hawk will take the dagger, but his body will get grabbed. Maureen starts things off, forcing XXS to use the BKB. There goes the tree cut. That's going to be a constant annoyance. Not only is the Hoodwink going to be hunted down inside of the trees, but this trample cuts trees down, so he can't really rely on the acorn shot to plant a tree and play off of that bushwhack.
Very few reliable stunts to play with in this game outside of that roar. And of course, there's Skeeter on the bat. You just run in, shield whoever you go on. Have a good day. Now I'm hitting your base. All the ults were used. What do you have left in the tank? No nullifier yet for Ame. No BKB for XXS. He was your strongest team fighter. And a lot of his net worth got taken off that little gank up top. So this is just a free lane for Falcons.
Yeah, this is looking like a real sad way to lose one of your games in this TI Grand Final.
Or a very comfortable way to win it.
That is also true. Falcons, everything is going to be undone if they can close out this game from that Game 1's mistakes. You're sort of going to feel like you have a potent draft advantage from this sort of situation if Xtreme haven't managed to answer it here. Oh, good initiation from Maureen. Almost caught XM. They could have chained that with crit the whip. Would have been beautiful, but hey, there's going to be plenty more opportunities like that. You do not have to rush things too much here.
XM did get to Lincoln's. It is worth pointing out here in case you commit some big spell on him. Just
sure.
Like a little defensive capability. I mean, there's already an Orchid for Skeeter. He's immediately trying to answer it, put more threat onto this puck, and there's your ticket higher on second. Roshan available for Falcons. They will instantly clean it up. And this will prompt a smoke from XG. They feel like they have a better shot contesting this than taking that high ground fight against the Aegis. Scan goes out. Falcons leave the pit.
Ame's also about as strong as you can ask him to be at this point in time. Yes. Level 18, nullifier done. If they can't make it work now, then you may just have to accept that this is a GG call. Both teams aware of the positioning.
That's not the guy you want.
They try and go for the nullifier, but the grab, no, the roar. It's going to stop him. Ame gets a bit of distance, and the Earth Splitter does good damage. Maureen kind of has to retreat here. As tanky as he is, he backs away. Now chasing after the Hoodwink, doesn't get that either, and they got the ultimate out of the Skeeter Abaddon. This is going pretty well for Xtreme, and now with the break, they go after the Abaddon. Escape back to help protect him. No nullifier back up for Xtreme just yet. Maureen with the refresh, though, goes back in with a BKB, and a second round. No roar to protect him this time, and Skeeter on top of him. What a bushwhack, but Ame simply cannot output the damage. These heroes, the Falcons, they are just too big and too bad.
That felt like a fight where XG executed it absolutely to the limit. You couldn't ask for more. They popped so much early, and they will end up losing basically everybody. Just too much sustain, too much tankiness in this lineup. They are too far ahead off the lanes, and that is likely going to secure Falcons this game to win. And if it does, and you're XG, you're going to have to make some big adjustments going into Game 3, because this was the kind of pace and laning phase you were trying to avoid in this series. This is one of your weaknesses this tournament. You cannot give this team this kind of start. They just completely run away with it.
Relatively low death timers because we're just so early into the game. It's only 30 minutes in, and Falcons are threatening a second lane of barracks. 14 seconds seems a bit too long to protect this one. Xtreme will have to hold out on that third lane. Protect against Megas, but Falcons, they can take this. They can back out. Roshan is open for the taking now.
You also just finished up Pipe on Enchantress, limiting that ET presence, limiting that Hoodwink magical burst damage.
Yeah, this is looking like just disgusting Falcon setup that made them so dominant in the previous year's regular season.
Just max the early EHP across the board. Damage test your enemies. And if they fail, the game just ends.
A scan reads what's coming from Xtreme. A desperate 5-man smoke to get to the pit in time. But Falcons, ever patient, will back away from the Roshan pit and force Xtreme into this uncomfortable position where they watch as the mid lane and the bottom lane push into their base. They want to contest Roshan, but how long can they just hold this position to do so?
They cannot hold it forever. Meanwhile, Falcons, they will sit on this hill until something happens. They are in no rush right now. They know they have the significant 5-on-5 advantage. They have the auras in this early game. They have the tanky frontliners that XG have to jump. Just put ATF on the front line and dare XG to jump him.
Xtreme definitely going to be put to the test of that bend, don't break style. Practically doubled over.
Oh, Ame, he wanted that
Ame, he's just going to go for it. He blinks right to the middle of them. And Ame's just got to keep on running. XM hoping to protect him here. Now there is the roar stopping out Malrine, but look at the Enchantress threatening Ame. He's running away from a 5 position who gets saved by the escape back, plus the Aphotic Shield. They've got so many things to bail each other out. As many spells as Xtreme can land, as many hits as Ame can do, it just doesn't even make a dent in the Falcons' armor.
Too much sustain. Way too much sustain for this lineup to punch through this early into the game. I'm sure they dealt like 6, 7, 8k damage there. And what did you threaten? Half the Enchantress's HP pool?
The sad part is it's just getting worse and worse. They might be dealing more damage, but they're dealing a less when it comes to the percentage of Falcons' HP pools. It just looks like they are tankier than ever.
Sages could be a killing blow in this game.
Yeah, Ame, he picked up a Chrysalis, but I mean, it feels like you need a Daedalus and another item to even come close, but
need a Divine Rapier at this point.
Yeah. He's cutting waves best he can. Amar playing totally isolated because he can, because even if they could kill him once, he's the one with the Aegis, and by the time they threaten him a second time, feels like his team will probably be able to make the move to support him.
I mean, I love they gave him Aegis here twice, right? Like, just let him go ham on the front line. He has this scene read. He's going to deal a crap ton of physical damage. He can threaten the tower, and then all you have to do is worry about shielding the Primal Beast if he gets jumped. And that's it, right? There is no threat to the lineup other than that.
Yeah, you don't have to put the Abaddon on the front lines and play that weird game where it's like, oh, they got borrowed time out of us. Now we have to reset a little bit. No, just let the Bristleback do his thing, man.
And there's Enchantress passing a core. I feel like we would see it at some point in this series with how well Snake King plays the hero.
Quite sad for XXS, who has had a wonderful tournament. But this is a rough game for Xtreme Gaming as a whole, and that final push is going to be coming their way. 3.5 minutes to take one lane of barracks. Falcons. This looks free. I mean, how does Xtreme, can you even come up with a scenario where they actually win this team fight?
Yeah, 5-man coil, 5-man bushwhack, land an ET stomp on top, Earth Splitter goes through, you amp it up on everybody. ATF disconnects. It's definitely doable here.
Okay.
Excellent.
Well, if the Elder Titan isn't alive, now what do you give the chances of that happening?
A lot lower.
He does have buyback, and that is certainly what Xtreme are going to have to play off of. Lots of buybacks, as many as they can get. The Beastmaster and the Hoodwink with the other two to have it. Malrine just trying to make Xtreme Gaming flinch at this point.
There's the banner drop. Let's get whittled down quite a bit, actually.
XM is trying. Whittling it down won't cut it, though. Xtreme, they're going to need to do a whole lot more because the damage that Amar is doing right now, it's about to become permanent. You can't handle Megas this early into the game.
No shot. You have to take the fight here. Have to find some sort of crazy jump.
Trying to wear him down. Xin-Q finally does take away that banner, but who cares about the creeps? Amar, he is more than enough. He doesn't need creeps behind him. The buildings are almost gone, and Xtreme have yet to make a move. They're just going to concede this to Megas.
There's no move to make. There is no target to jump. You see a Bristle with Aegis, you see an Enchantress you can't kill, and there's an Abaddon sitting behind everybody. The move just does not exist in this game.
And I feel like it's almost insulting. Amar's just gone back for a 36-minute blade mail.
Why not? That's it. I mean, is there even any damage going into him to reflect at this point?
I guess he's saying at some point in time, this Ame Clinks will have to try and all in him. And if he does, he'll have the blade mail to respond.
think you just get the Shivas up on Malrine here and you go for that game-ending push. You're not going to need anything past that.
What do you even talk about if you're Xtreme? You're sure you're holding on to the game, but you all know that you've lost it. You're just talking about plans for the next one?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Adjustments, what went wrong here. Got to plan something out to deal with these heroes, right? And it was going to be an issue in this series. Like, the tempo Falcons can set the laning phase they have is a lot stronger than what XG have shown. They get the upper hand. It's scary. You can rat it out. You can stall that game. We've seen XG do a tremendous job at coming back from these situations. This game is just impenetrable.
The Aegis Bristleback is already here, and the Shiva's Primal Beast is now behind him. So 40 seconds.
All right.
To get Xtreme to respond. Here comes that all-in attempt onto the Aegis hero. Can't even kill him the once. Maybe with a stomp. No Earth Splitter yet. They gotta wear through this first life before they use big spells like the Earth Splitter. But the tier 4s are dropping pretty fast here. There goes the Shivas. Malrine tries to make his jump out the grab onto the Beastmaster. Can they blow him up? Or is the Primal Beast the one in trouble? He reframes Earth Splitter and actually interrupts him. That world step. Whoa, look at that! He goes right to the middle of them, and Malrine takes 3 down with ease. Falcons go into the Xtreme gaming base. And Xtreme, they fight out to pretty much the bitter end, but they will call it quits, and we have a tie series now. The TI Grand Finals.
It has been some time without a 3-0. Like, this is not a lineup Gyro is going to be able to stand against in the late game. I just refuse to believe it's true. You have double BKB piercing supports. You have an insane amount of physical burst damage. You have Slardar to amp it all up. If I'm Falcons, I don't want to find myself in that position. I want a game like Game 2, where I have a strong laning phase, my cores get ahead, I deny some experience from the supports, maybe even contest some stacks, and never give a chance for this hyper-scaling lineup to come online.
I guess I'm wondering, like, that wasn't the problem in Game 2, so why did Xtreme put so much scale when the problem in Game 2 was they just got ran over in lanes?
I think they have been run into a corner a little bit on XXS's hero pool. Like, we saw how much Falcons were target banning him. They took his 3 best offlaners out in that first phase. He's running out of heroes a little bit. He probably didn't want to pick the Batrider. We saw him play earlier into the Pugna. Didn't feel like the game was good enough for it. So then what else are you playing to give that jump stun that XG really need? It's clear they want him on that archetype of hero, but maybe they were struggling to find it. If you ended up wanting to go the route with the Slardar, then you have to build the lineup around him, and this is just kind of where it ended up.
Fair enough. There was certain things that they did have to give up as a concession to Xtreme Gaming. We heard from AEY 2000 himself. They are a very good Bane team.
Oh, yeah.
What is it about this hero that feels so good right now?
The scale, right? Being able to BKB Pierce lock down a carry in the middle of the fight. It's just such a huge threat for a lot of these cores that want to jump in, pop that debuff immunity, and go to work. On top of it, the sleep save can be super influential, and just the catch around the map. Like, he's one of the better cores at setting stuff up with the sleep into the ult. Not a lot of heroes are going to survive that. This hero just feels good at almost every point in the game outside of the very early laning phase, which we have not seen go punished too hard this event.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's certain games like last where you get run over, but even that Game 2 was not a game that was won off the lanes. It was won off the draft, in my opinion. That
a lot of damage on Ame here, as this duo of the Bane Sven are trying to keep the Pango from getting out of control. That Bane is also a big counter to the Pango, but we have seen Amar, his item choices, he is really loving the early Lotus Orb pickup. I was going to ask you about this in Game 2. Why did Lotus Orb all of a sudden become this, first item pickup? This is typically an item you're looking at second, third, fourth item. Why are we getting it so early now?
Well, this man's been doing it for a long time, so maybe other people are behind ATF in terms of that offlane itemization. It's just strong. If you get it up online early and you're leading the pack in net worth, it prevents a lot of all-ins from certain of the heroes in the meta, like the Beastmaster. It's great scaling for your carry later in the game. It gives you early armor, gives you early regen, kind of a pseudo-farm item or, resource item to stay out on the map. You just have to get it up fast enough. If you get a delayed Lotus, it's not going to feel great. If you're leading the pack with Lotus, it can feel amazing. And ATF likes these kind of builds. We could easily see some sort of Lotus Lincoln's Pango build this game, just so he can roll in and block some of the Slardar amp, the Bane grip. Demonic Purge, also very influential spell in this game off of the Shadow Demon first pick for Jin Q. Amazing Purge game. First the Pugna.
Yep.
First some of the buffs. First the Escape Act from this Ringmaster, right? The panel was talking about Nullifier. They might not need a Nullifier as fast as they normally would because they have Xingqiu on the Shadow Demon that can provide that constant dispel for the first target you are trying to burst down. That first point of contact in the fights is going to be everything for both of these teams because of how XG have built their lineup.
That's fair enough. I think it's also worth mentioning Lotus Orb did kind of get a buff recently. It's just a little bit harder to see than he used to be.
I mean, maybe I'm just old. I always complain about the visual changes, but
Yeah.
you know, you can't complain about it now. You've seen it before. You've played against it. This is a grand final. Step up or go home. Double
Nice
stun.
two-man stun. And X-Nova almost kills Crit off of it. Two-man stun into a two-man blood grenade. Not too bad. Damage being dealt doesn't find the first blood. That is still on the table.
Don't want to get baited by this Ringmaster in the laning phase, though. This hero's very strong on the lane. You can always bait you in with stick charges, Lotus, potential strongman tonic, whoopee cushion action.
Yeah, the last thing you want to give him is a kill in lane, and then he starts snowballing off of those souvenirs he gets.
You just want to make sure he doesn't get anything out of it. If it goes even, you're pretty happy against this hero, particularly with the Bane. This is a good matchup for Ringmaster. Crit's going to do a little stacking on top of it as well.
Yeah, speaking of going even, it does look like the laning phase as a whole is going even, which is a good sign for Xtreme. Last thing they want is to be at such a disadvantage they give up the Wisdom Shrine again. Disruption into a bash, into the crush, but the teleport is coming in, and now XXS is the one in trouble. It's first blood going to Snake King, and a second kill on the way. The Shadow Demon, he can do little to stop this Xingqiu doing what he can against Skeeter, but I bet he's wishing he never popped that poison.
Sick TP from Crit. Instant on time, turns it around. That's a tough fight without the support coming in from the Ringmaster and his extra DPS. Big turnaround for the Gyro on this lane. That's a lane that could have swung either way off that kill attempt. Instead, it goes Falcon's way. Skeeter very happy about that experience. He'll get to go to base and come back now.
Yeah,
Full
with the boots pickup, he'll be back to base a little bit quicker, but it does mean that Falcons won't be able to min-max the advantage they got off of those kills. The Slardar able to play the lane solo for a little bit. Primal Roar, and trying to secure the power rune. Don't get the power rune, so instead get the kill.
And no brain sap, no sleep for X-Nova there. Just gets taken down from the high ground. Secure the rune for XM, but how much can he do with the regen? Have to see. If I'm XG, I don't want to fall behind in economy again. I don't want to let these heroes become unkillable, which means getting some stacks up, making sure your Sven and SF are having a very good laning phase into that acceleration, and potentially making some plays, I don't know, through the Slardar, through the Bane, setting some stuff up on the map. You do have this Bane SF combo where you can kind of sleep people into Requiem if you really want to play around that. And XM, he did really well in this mid lane. He's just laying into this tower. Another great D-ward. They are controlling the vision around this area. See XG prioritizing it, and I don't think they're going to want to lose Wisdom Shrines this time around. I think that was a huge factor in that game too.
Absolutely.
You have to prioritize it a little bit here.
Yeah, Falcons are certainly not in a position to get aggressive in that regard. In fact, it's going to be
look at this.
Xtreme who are going to get aggressive. Triple raise on an Ancient stack. That was the one point where I looked at Falcons saying, okay, they've got a little bit of net worth lead, but if they also have the stack advantage, that could really build up into something. But most of those stacks have just been robbed.
This was a really nice play. This is getting value out of that regen rune, right? Not normally a 6-minute power rune that you can use too aggressively. Here, beautiful usage of it. Go steal some stacks, slow down the Beastmaster, accelerate the SF, and he's still going to be full of resources out of committing the raises. Puts XM in a very solid position. This is one of his signature heroes. I mean, people think of the XM sniper, but he's also been playing this Shadow Fiend for a long time.
Xingqiu gonna run into Snake King. A pick off perhaps? It's gonna be up to Snake King if he can get off a Decrepify that's good enough and make a run for it, but they should just be able to tail him. Nobody around to help him out. The Gyrocopter's not gonna join in on this. And especially if XM, they do have the Beastmaster. They're trying to sandwich this right now, but it's 3 heroes. So it's not so simple as Maureen just running in for the roar.
Can't go in on XM there. He's way too strong. And you have to think about the saves that actually have too. If you're Maureen here, like, you go in and roar a target, that target gets disrupted, that target gets slept. Your teamfight presence is going to be mitigated for a while, so he has to make sure his game is good. He's continuing to scale. Don't take too many bad early fights into the saves here.
Yeah, there are actually so many interactions here that Xtreme have the answer to, right? The Rolling Thunder is going to come in. They have Fiend Script for that. If there is the single target stuns coming out, they have Disruption or Nightmare. Then you've got the Demonic Purge countering the saves from Snake King and from Crit, right? You have Escape Act as well as Decrepify that's going to be countered. There is high potential for Xtreme to be able to outplay Falcons, but are they going to be able to get there? As an early game does seem to favor Falcons for now.
Got some decent support levels, a lot of playmaking available. Their lineup does seem a little more straightforward to execute if it gets rolling. It's kind of the one upside for them, particularly if the gyro can join fights and have a higher impact before the Sven comes online. That could be a real point of contention.
Snaking, if you show here, it might be a triple raise in your future. Disruption, he's too far back. XM will not be able to catch that. They'll just make sure there's no deny here. Mid towers claimed by Xtreme, and the SF, well, he's free to move around the map. He relied on X-Nova to get the sleep, but he doesn't. Oh, he does get in range.
He just got level 5, levels it up to 3 extra range.
And now it's going to be a stun into triple raise. Potentially, they let him get off the shield crash, though.
What was that?
And because of that shield, where was the stun from Ame?
That was just bizarre. I think there's a world you absolutely bring that Pangolier down. Shouldn't be hesitant to Requiem in there, but a little mis-execution from XG off a beautiful setup from X-Nova.
Very awkward. God Strength now being on cooldown, and a bit of the surprise spoiled Falcons. They'll bring numbers to this bottom lane push in Xtreme. I think they're likely just to give this one away. XXS is having, you know, a fair time at the top lane. He's playing solo right now and chipping away at a tower, so there's really no need to risk fighting at bottom lane.
I thought the early portion of that lane was rough for XG, but they eventually kicked Skeeter out. Now he's the poorest core out of this lane phase. This gyro just found almost nothing in terms of fighting after we saw that double kill that Crit TP'd into.
Yeah, and he doesn't have any ancient stacks to fall back on when he does get the farm for it. Now, there's still plenty of time before that comes to fruition, but...
This is great for XXS. He was struggling, now he gets a free lane. And XM, another ancient stack going to this Shadow Fiend. This is one of the best Shadow Fiend starts we've seen.
Yeah, this is actually just disgusting. You have a mid-hero who wins his matchup so hard he takes the tower. That allows him to go into the triangle, and he's a stack clearer. That just means he's going to be playing both sides of these triangles.
Very influential tower to lose early in this game, particularly with the mid-beast, who wants to protect those ancient stacks. He's going to give a lot of freedom to XG here, and we are not seeing that same kind of run over from Falcons in that game, too. You know, I think there were probably some concerns as Falcons just going to do a repeat of that game.
Yeah.
And just run it back all the way to an Aegis. The answer seems to be no. They have run into a brick wall here. They will not find the same momentum. Doesn't mean they can't still build it if they start getting some good team fights going their way, but it's getting to the point where you're going to have these early fighting items on the side of XG, and as long as you protect this Shadow Fiend, he's kind of a beast in the fight. No one's challenging him. Especially you can't just all-in war him because the saves are behind.
Yeah. There's certainly always going to be a massive difference in Falcons and their tempo, because so much of it, a faster tempo is played around Maureen. If he's playing Primal Beast, he wants to run around, get kills. He's playing Beastmaster, he's going to play far more to neutrals, a slower game. He wants to get his Aghanim Scepter first before he risks too much, and we're seeing the impact of that. 12-minute, an Invis Rune. They do have a Sentry in place for this one. Can X-Nova get the right Nightmare? Oh, Mark got himself stuck. Can he get out of this? The shield crash is stuck, and now he's going to be Fiend's Grip. Just to make sure the Shadow Fiend gets away, X-Nova will die for it, but he sacrifices his life to make sure his mid laner does not go down. That was the most farmed core in this game. And Falcons, they should have had that kill.
Not the place or time to get stuck on the Pangolier.
No.
Reset that mentality and try again later. That's a botch kill on the SF. Good bailout from X-Nova, though. I think he might have been able to bail him out even if that Pango didn't get stuck. That's very close, though. And you do not want to die on XM here. I mean, he is so far, and for him to go down, you lose that presence on the map. That would be a huge blow to XG. That's why Falcons were prioritizing him.
Yeah, with this Kaya Yasha, he doesn't need a Blink Dagger to set up these Requiems, right? He's got X-Nova, and he's got... I mean, both a Nightmare and a Disruption are probably good enough for him to get off a Fiend's Grip or a Requiem of Souls that leads into a double or triple raise, and anybody's going to die to that.
The thing is, all that goes out the window if you just get gone on it.
Yeah, absolutely, which means Falcons can't afford to separate too much, which is maybe part of why Xtreme have set up the draft the way they did, right? They have solo kill pickoff around the map. Falcons will have to play a little bit more cluttered than they were able to do in the past. They can't rely on just the tankiness of their heroes in this game.
And Staking, you are not on Enchantress anymore.
They spotted and Disruption to stop the TP. They can give the kill to whoever they want. XXS will nab it as he wants it. The faster, looks like Shard is the build-up for him next. So he wants to be the tanky one in this game.
I think that's the fastest they've ever taken Snaking down in this entire series.
That's true. Yeah, he's no longer on the Enchantress.
It's like
Gonna
this
do a lot for you.
This is how ganking a 5 is supposed to feel.
I love this. Look at the XXS is hiding his Blink Dagger.
Oh,
It's sitting on this courier, just hiding in the trees.
We get some value out of this. There's that dire ward up there. Might scout it, but
Yeah, I do wonder if it saw the courier at any point in time, or if it sees him.
that's a
he backs
way
away.
better start for XG though. Game even for them out of lanes. I feel like that's a slight victory for them.
Do you think that favors them draft-wise? Not as a team, but draft-wise, do you feel like this is a draft that as long as you come out even, you're actually favored? I think so.
I think for the mid game, yeah, because your Roche threat is so high with the Sardo, right?
Yes.
You get one core pick off, the thing's just going to insta-die. Meanwhile, Falcons are like, yeah, nice Roche. We're going to take it way before you're expecting it.
I certainly wasn't expecting this. I've got free vision.
Move.
And they're actually going to do it. They're going to run into crit. They're going to chase after this kill. But that means Roshan, it goes the way of Falcons.
What a snatch in this game. You'll gladly trade a support to take this away from this Sardar lineup.
Xtreme had literally just gone for their, okay, we're strong enough to go for a smoke. Any sort of pick off will lead to Roshan. They were ready for that move, but Falcons one step ahead of them and taken away a critical objective.
I was very clutch on the timing. They got the Beastmaster eggs, they go in the pit, they read the map, absolutely on point. And if you don't run interference there with the Ringmaster, there's a chance that smoke just goes into the pit and you just jump it when it pops, right?
Yep.
4 minutes on the clock here for Maureen. You can now push a little more aggressively, have a lot more presence in the team fight, work towards his scaling with that BKB, try and create some space on the map for this gyro to recover. I mean, you're still looking at Skeeter as the poorest core here. Not a great sign on this hero, especially when he's up against so much debuff piercing damage in this game. You gotta wonder how easily he's gonna be able to join the fight, but he can absolutely recover very quickly here. Maureen gets some action going. XG on the hunt.
They're going to fight into Maureen, but Crit and Snaking are behind him here.
Yeah, it's
Give him the heals, wait out the Demonic Purge, and the Escape Act is ready now that the Demonic Purge is gone. Not required, though. Xtreme, do not force anything. Seek few heroes, no reason to fight into this Aegis.
Yeah, that's not the target you want to go on with your single burst lineup. Hunt this Pango? Sure. Hunt this Gyro? Absolutely. They're eyeing him up. Look at X-Nova on the back. Can he get him off the haste, though?
Oh, he's so close, but a blink away. Out of range and now out of sight.
That was some sick positioning. That is not a move I think Amar expected. He doesn't have haste. He goes down there for sure. He just gets slept into Requiem.
Well, we haven't even mentioned the two carries too much in this game. Amang is certainly getting the better of the situation. 9,300 net worth on him. The Gyrocopter is struggling. Axe is cutting down, chasing after him.
That was so awkward with the tumbler toy. Didn't get over that little cliff. Dude, the little river cliffs causing Falcons problems. It's game 3.
Radiant's top tower is
You know what's funny? This Aegis that they got for themselves, they almost got it too early. Just because they won't actually have it when the Tormentor spawns.
I mean, this was not an Aegis they take for their lineup. This is an Aegis you take away from XG.
Sure.
But it does mean you'll have to contest the faster Roshan cycle in this game.
Got the Nightmare on him. Team is teleporting in. And yeah, Falcons say that is not even close to whoa! XXS, what was that? Bungled the stun there that should have gotten them the extra kill.
That was almost harder to miss than hit.
It really was. He had to walk away from his blink. Whoopsies.
Extra life for Falcons to play with here. I mean, it's still a good rebuttal from XG. You bring Ame into the fight, you just decimate the Pugna. Gotta feel good about that. This Sven is excavating the map right now.
He is so far ahead of this Gyrocopter right now.
I mean, just look at the levels, right? Level 15.5 on the Sven, level 12 on the Gyro. XG have the 2 highest level cores in this game, and it is the Sven and the Shadow Fiend. Those are good levels to have on these heroes.
Aura goes out, trying to blow up the Slardar, and they do manage to get him. X-Nova not there in time for a Nightmare save. And they know that God Strength is on cooldown. The Sven may be in this area, but not likely to fight. So good call for Falcons. A pick off there, and pulls that net worth almost back to even.
I think XG didn't expect him to linger up here this much. They had 2 wards up on that top lane. in theory, a lot of information, but Falcons played to the left of it. They waited for a hero to show, and they want to take that tower down and occupy this part of the map because you are looking towards that 20-minute Tormentor. Another easy objective for XG to take if you don't take it first. If you control this part of the map, could set that fight up a lot easier, and we're still seeing Maureen just camp this area. He does not want to give this corner to XG while he has Aegis for another minute.
Xnova spotted by Maureen. They get, no, he's faster with it, gets off the Nightmare. Still though, the Nightmare is traded away, and Maureen does not have to roar to get the kill. He just casually runs him down. 40 seconds left on the Aegis, 20 seconds left on his roar.
Absolute Tormentor control here for Falcons. Playing the objectives well, giving up a little more farm to XG to do it, but they're okay making that trade if they can continue to slow down the Slardar's game progression.
I like this though. XM, he's reading the positioning of Falcons around the map and is trying to take objectives where he can as a result. If he can pull some heroes down here, then maybe that means Xtreme get the better control of the Tormentor as it spawns.
You're also just trying to get as much XP off the map right now, because if you can get to the level 18 on your 2 cores that are really high level, level 3 Requiem, level 3 God Strength would go a long way, especially when you're amping a lot of this damage up.
That's true. I mean, he gets to BKB. Blink BKB, Requiem. I don't know if Maureen can be fast enough to Primal Roar to stop it. And if he can't do it, nobody else can.
That's your only option when this guy goes in.
Ooh, amp damage. I mean, he had an Arcane Rune before. I was wondering if they were going to make a play with that. But as you said, he's just trying to farm up as quick as possible right now. Xtreme aiming for a later timing. I am surprised that they are not willing to play for Tormentor, but this will be Falcons.
I mean, Falcons did a tremendous job controlling this portion of the map, eliminating the vision. This was their Tormentor to take, and it's kind of a tough high ground to fight into against the Pangolier and the Beastmaster.
Got a little spotlight action, so we'll see 30% miss chance. I mean, when you have a bunch of physical damage and minus armor.
Yeah, very true. Could be influential here.
Missing a single hit could make you miss the kill. XXS and Amar right next to each other. Oh, they both blink back in terror. Neither certain of their position in that one. And never mind indeed. BKB. Done for the Beastmaster. I mean, we got to be coming to a point where these teams are going to come to a clash. I feel like we're getting all the critical items for both sides.
It's got to be next Roche. And that's what these lineups are built to do.
Sure.
That will be where that team fight happens. And there is BKB done for XM. This is an insane pace for him. Amp damage still in the bottle.
They give them the Wisdom Shrine to get him to 18.
He is crushing it right now. And you're still looking at this Gyro, who's supposed to be your main carry, your main damage dealer in the fight that you can play around. He's just so far behind. And he can just die in 3 hits. If this Gyro gets amped into Sven damage or SF damage, you're gone. There's level 18 for XM. They want to smoke it up. Try and use something with the back end of this amp damage rune. Absolutely devastating if you can connect.
Double BKBs. XXS may not have his, but all they need for him is an initiation. But Ame already has that covered. They get the jump on a Snake King and XXS. The finishing blow.
That was some overkill, but they do get the Pugna for another time in this game. And another
Arcane Rune. Did he just get Arcane into amp damage into Arcane?
I believe he did. The SF dream right here.
That it really is. I mean, he's farming so fast that I feel like we're just coming down to, oh, he got his BKB, but maybe we wait for another item. As Aghanim Scepter is next up, and he's already has 1,400 gold saved up for it.
See when this Roche spawns. If it's a late Roche, he could absolutely have another item by then. Very concerning for Falcons, the rate he's progressing. You almost want a faster Roche here. They get more online.
They have kept the net worth even, though. Yes. And it may not be the Gyrocopter, but these other cores are pretty farmed. Beastmaster and the Pango.
It's about landing the ulti. Like, a lot of Falcons teamfight depends on getting a good roar without the save coming through and getting a good roll through from Amar.
Good pick. Maureen exercising some restraint. Once again, runs into Xnova and realizes he doesn't have to roar to get the kill.
She continuing to just dodge around the map. They're content with farming. They are scaling here. They're confident in their overwhelming physical damage eventually winning out for them.
I can't say I blame them. I mean, especially the triple BKB timing. What are you going to do as Falcons? What's the game plan? If we get to a triple BKB timing, you can roar one of these heroes. But the others are just going to run at you.
Your target should be XM. Roar this Shadow Fiend, bring him down with gyro committing, and let the roll through cover on the backside, try and disrupt some of the saves from coming through, right?
Yeah. Like, you'll still have kiting mechanisms for the Sven, so you don't have to worry so much about him.
I mean, you have to worry about him, but you got to pick your poison here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of physical damage dealers. Decrep might bail you out a little bit. Escape Act might bail you out. Depends when that Demonic Purge comes through. This ward is scouting mid, but they did not. They barely saw him.
XM and Hawkmate.
See ya.
He is not playing games. He is not being coy. He just goes straight to the sport, takes the kill that he can get out of it. Use the God Strength for that. Unfortunately for him, it is a late Roshan spawn. So Roshan is not up for them to take. And Xtreme Gaming will still have to play a 5-on-5 for control of the pit.
I think they would have just manned up for it there if it had spawned.
Certainly.
We'll have to wait another minute, but they will have God Strength up for it when it spawns. So Falcons want to try and sneak that away a second time. They absolutely will contest it. And Skeeter just has to get BKB here and pray he can survive in the fights. Timely Decrep could bail him out. Escape Act could do the same, but if Demonic Purge lands on this gyro,
Dire's bottom tower.
all those options go away. He's just on his own, and he does not have the armor to survive the physical. So that connection, pivotal for XG as you look towards this next Roche fight. And yeah, that SF Ags. It's coming real fast here. He's just out of control, and it's almost level 20.
Falcons put into a position where they're just going to have faith in the outplay capabilities. I mean, the funny part is they have saves on both sides. All 4 supports in this game have options for saves, so the initiation, it's going to be messy. You never know if that jump is actually good or if you're just going to be playing into the enemy's hands.
But that's where the Shadow Demon comes in. He's that balance breaker. Throw Demonic Purge on the target, you jump. Falcon saves don't do anything.
Yeah, but that also requires the Shadow Demon to play forward enough that, you know, maybe he just gets jumped by the Rolling Thunder hit and 100-0'd by Amar.
Definitely a possibility. It's Pango. He has Lotus done. He can go in versus the grip.
About it. How many heroes are in these trees? He doesn't know. The boar is scouting out for him.
He cannot go in too deep. The Lotus will buy him sometime against the grip, but it's not infinite, right? And if Nova's positioning is really good, then you get grip deep in enemy lines. You're going to really sacrifice your team's formation here. Nonetheless, Roche is up. Ags is done.
Level 20, Aghanim Scepter Shadow Fiend.
He's a monster. He's just a straight monster right now. You have to tag this guy in the fight.
I feel like we've been hyping up this Requiem for like 15 minutes. And it's just getting better and better, but when is Xtreme finally going to pull the trigger on it?
I mean, this is at the point where you have the BKB on the starter. You have everything you need to fight. It puts you in a position you have to just force the Roche if Falcons don't want to give you that 5-on-5. If they want to buy time for Skeeter, you do it incredibly fast. They got scouted on that again, I think.
Yep. These aggressive wards from Falcons.
They might still catch. Oh, if they find Amar.
It would be massive. Oh, that would have been the perfect pickup. Take away this big initiator. They could threaten the Bane and the Shadow Demon in these fights, but they do not break. Come so close to him, and instead they will just back up. They've cleared out the area. They know that Falcons isn't around. They think this will give them enough time to do the Roshan. We'll see if Falcons contest.
So XG, they kill the boars. They know Falcons are going to respond. They'd rather take the fight than get low in the pit. Ward plays from Crit, trying to see anything for the jump. But XG, they take the high ground. It's going to have to be blind here from
Seeing
Amar.
some heroes. The Rolling Thunder. Amar holds off on it.
X-Nova making some moves on the left. Going up blind, looking for an angle.
XXS.
Oh, he might just run into a
running
bar.
right up there, and he managed to find the Pango. The Pango's the one in trouble. He gets the roll up. He's Demonic Purge, so he has the Rolling Thunder now. XM goes to the Requiem. It doesn't get an easy kill. They chase after Snake King. They'll get that one, but they've blown a lot for this. Meanwhile, the Roar, it gets used on the Sven, and the Sven's at half HP. He's got the BKB. What's he gonna do? Can he turn and fight? Oh, yeah, he can. He brings out Maureen. The Beats grip. He takes out Amar as well with XXS chasing down the Gyrocopter.
Triple.
Falcons down.
What a clutch turnaround from Ame. Help that BKB. Disruption buys him some time. And Falcons overextend trying to bring this king down. Xtreme take a 6K lead. They'll put an Aegis on this Ven, and now they are cruising in this game. That is the one team fight they needed to break this one wide open. The damage is only going to pick up from here. And that Requiem wasn't even the best it could have been. It was almost a zoning Requiem to break the fight up.
Yeah, it did not get a quick kill like we were theorizing it could do. It pushes Snake King in a bad position, but yeah, most of Falcons dodged that damage.
Yeah, the damage was not effective. It was just a zoning tool, but Malrine, he found his mark on this ward. Did a significant chunk of Ame's damage, but you can't finish him off. This is the gyro problem, right? Skeeter doesn't offer you enough physical burst because of the game.
Look at those crits, man. He got like 5 hits in and 3 crits. 1,600 damage apiece.
Yeah, sit back and relax. It's going to be a long series.
Oh, man.
I mean, I'm sure Falcons can feel it. This game is just not the same as that game, too. You do not have the same punch. You do not have that same snowball momentum. And now you are stuck going into that mid-late game against a team that has rarely lost those types of games.
Rushing down the lanes. Malrine trying to hunt for some farm and pull back. He was running into 3 of Xtreme, though.
This beast has to do some heavy lifting here. It's still going to be time before Skeeter can deliver a punch equal to what this lineup's doing, which means you have to rely on the Beastmaster's damage. I mean, he did a significant amount of damage to Ame. If he has one more item there, you might just be able to bring him down. The save came out a little slow because no one was really looking at that part of the fight.
It says a lot that he feels like he has to go back for the Satanic rather than completing the Daedalus.
I mean, Satanic on this hero is also a lot of damage. If you can stay alive, that means you get a second flak hit off, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's kind of the damage you're looking for, but you're never going to have the same burst punch as this XG lineup.
No, never. Xtreme Gaming's second Tormentor of the game. And now we have a Demonic Cleanse on top of a Demonic Purge.
A little bit of extra sustain, why not? They found Snake King again, just been hounded.
Gets there on just the last half second, and that will help XXS complete his Aghanim Scepter. So he was
so tanky now.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, 4,000 HP. And you're just not even talking about the extra armor and regen he's going to get out of sitting in these pools.
If he is in a puddle when you go on him, it feels like you lost the fight in a way, right? Especially if you commit big ults onto him. Especially with the status resistance on top of that. Ame hunting.
They have a scan on him. Ame, not worried about it. He says, this kill isn't even worth me chasing. You guys can have at it, though. X-Nova, Jin Q. They'll hunt down Crit on the sides of the map. Oh, they'll leave the kill to XM. So nice. Nice dodge. And it means that X-Nova will end up taking the kill with the poison.
Yeah, Ame, he doesn't have time for it. He's got better things to do here.
Yeah, he's got 2 minutes on the clock for this Aegis. Time to do some damage.
Take a tier 2, push towards your 25. And he is so far ahead of Skeeter on this gyro, it's not even funny. It's just not a fair fight.
No, it's not. He's almost got a 10,000 net worth lead on the opposing carry. It's ridiculous.
I mean, this was an important game for XG to strike back in, especially with this draft, because, again, you're trying to answer the problem, which is Falcon saying, we've banned all of XXS's heroes. We took out all his tempo makers, his jump stunners. What are you going to do about it? What are you going to pick? Their reply was the Slardar. If you win a game with this, you might have to change up a lot of your bans. Maybe you can't target him as much. This hero has been pretty effective in this game so far, just forcing awkward moves out of Falcons, especially around that Roshan pit, because of the threat on objectives it gives you. And now you're getting into the part where it's going to give you benefit for the scaling.
I would also point to the mid matchup, right? XM having this Shadow Fiend, this will do wonders for them in this matchup because most of Malrine's heroes are these melee mids. If he keeps on being abused by a Shadow Fiend that takes his tower so early and still continues to keep up by farming neutrals as well, you've got a bit of a problem.
What's a big factor in this game? Limiting the lane damage Falcons were able to put out. And now they're on the back foot. The lead is continuing to grow. This was a beneficial Aegis period for XG. Ame still on the hunt, looking towards bottom lane. Once more, get him. Didn't get crit either. Falcons in dodge mode and dodging successfully right now.
Gonna have to make a lot of moves like that. And Amar, well, gets the roll up. Now the Rolling Thunder and the Lotus Orb. And the teleport away. He's good.
There's a chance you bash him there. It's not impossible.
Yeah, XXS didn't have the numbers for it yet. But in the future.
Quick gate top, look for the hero farming the other side of the map. XG just playing really aggressive right now. They just want to find anything. And another amp damage for XM, almost level 25 himself. Lincoln Sphere done. Can't even go in and roar this guy easily anymore.
It's just flat out a guaranteed ultimate. Oh boy, Falcons. Well, Satanic's done. Back to the Daedalus for Skeeter. Stall, stall, stall. Maybe Skeeter gets to a point he can get a Divine Rapier after the Daedalus. A Swift Blink done for the Sven. That's nasty. Level 25 with a Swift Blink. The attacks are going to come real quick, and they're going to be doing well past 2,000 damage. You added some Corrosive Haze on there, some little bit more minus armor from the Shadow Fiend. You might see 3,000 damage crits.
Have to instantly respond in the fight. Bash from Pango, roar from the Beast. There's a good blink out from ATF, not getting caught there. XG will go unrewarded for this move across the map. Closing in on that Shivas for the Beastmaster. In fact, they have it. So that's a huge item. Little armor mitigation here. There's all this minus armor from the Slardar SF. I just think this gyro build-up's awkward. Like, this is a game you must have wanted Butterfly in. And you just could never fit it in because you were too far behind. So you don't have evasion, you don't have bonus armor. It just feels like you're food unless the team bails you out.
XXS is hunting. He's not going to find anything. That's because Falcons are sitting 5 inside their base right now. That's where we're at.
Okay, to the point where you just have to smoke out or something, regain some map control. Do have a gem on Maureen, so if you move out with him, should be able to get some D-wards. See if he spots this ward up on that top lane. They all run past it, but it does not get scouted by the gem yet. Giving XG a lot of information to play off of. Another power rune for XM. It's just been gobbling him up in the river.
I mean, at this point, Falcons, they can't really know this, but the side lanes are being heavily patrolled by Xtreme, but it's just XM in the middle part of the map. When you're trying to rat like this, you don't usually want to go to the middle part of the map, but that might be their best opportunity to create an opening. Just they get the Shadow Fiend off the map, that gives them 60, 70 seconds to work with.
It's just not the logical jump. Like, you don't see this SF city mid to say he's alone. Let's go just smoke and jump him, and it's going to work out. It does not feel comfortable to play this map right now, and this ward is still available top for XG, just scouting a lot out. Also a great ward for Falcons. Amar, he's like, I want to use this, guys.
Seeing XXS. I just can't see a world where they go on the Slardar, and it's good for them, and instead Amar's going to be the one jumped. A roll up and a Rolling Thunder. Away he goes, hits a bash, a little bit of damage, and blinks away. It's XM, actually now. XM's in trouble. There's a disruption save though, and Ame right on the front line to bail out his Shadow Fiend. The hit's coming in. Maureen, he can't survive. 28 damage, and more's coming for you. A good whip from Crit will keep them off of Skeeter's tail, but that damage had to put fear into Falcons. Snake King, he delays it. One tapped by Ame. That's what you're dealing with right now.
This is the definition of overwhelming damage. You don't have time to respond. You got the roar on the SF. As he went into you, kind of the best scenario.
Yep.
But there's disruption to bail you out. That's the beauty of this lineup. The aggressive damage dealers can go in with confidence because there is no turnaround potential unless you check that back line. And Ame, he is just unleashed here.
Man's on fire. And XM is fearless, man.
Refresher done for the Shadow Fiend. If you thought it was bad before, add double ult with Dazoon Bloodright with Timeless on top of it.
Yeah, AC for the Slardar as well. I mean, the advantages just keep on piling up.
This game is starting to feel as out of reach as game 2 was for XG.
It's starting to. I mean, for me, it's felt that way for like a solid 10-15 minutes. Just felt like Falcons were in this position where they couldn't actually play active. They couldn't go for kills. And Xtreme were just building up this late game that it feels kind of unstoppable. This much physical damage, this much minus armor.
Need more late game survivability to punch through it. And it comes down to the gyro. Like, can gyro take a jump in this game? So far, the answer's been no. He does finish up a broach. He disassembles it. Once Daedalus here.
The banner down, and Ame starts going to work.
There's the gyro Daedalus. This is some damage for Falcons. I mean, this is a Hail Mary.
It is. They've got to somehow find the initiation, but if they're going to do it without snaking and without a mid lane of barracks. Trying to deal with a banner. Skater. Oh, man. No good. No buyback available. Requiem just for the fun, just for the hell of it. He's got another one. Why not?
No God Strength, no problem. Just blinks on plays for the attack speed, daring Amar to jump him.
They do manage to get that jump on XM, but there's the Lincolns. Now a refresh. You have to go through another Lincoln, so you don't have a roar to do so. XM jumps, hits the back line with the Requiem, runs down crit. Full heal, back up, and this is completely dumpster. Xtreme Gaming. You thought that was good in game 2. You thought Falcons history to right the wrongs of the past. And in the face of all that gravity, Amar says, screw it. Let me carry.
Give me the bear. I'll show you how it's done. From the off lane, the man in his element. I felt like it was XXS having his hero pool challenge. It was Falcon saying, how many more cards do you have up your sleeve? And Amar, he got backed into the corner. He had to pull something out. Nobody could have predicted this pick in the world. It is absolutely out from left field. He does have experience on the hero, but man, what a pick to bust out in an elimination game in a TI Grand Final.
Avery, I trust you to give it to me straight.
Yeah.
The panel said it's possible. It's possible. Well, anything's possible in the world of Dota. Is this actually going to happen, or is this just cope? What good is the off-lane Ursa?
It's a hell of an Ursa game.
Okay, break it down for me.
I mean, it's a great Ursa game. You know, he has great core matchups. Not a lot of control against him. Demonic Purge is probably the one spell you're most annoyed by, but it does relieve a lot of that carry pressure that was on the gyro. And it just felt like that gyro pick was not going to get it done. We saw it suffer in the last game. Falcons felt like they needed more scale. They were not going to tempo this game out. This is the pick to do it. All eyes on Amar. How much did you learn during your brief stint as a carry?
How much did he learn? How much did Xtreme learn? Taking the Magnus in match point.
Whew. This hero, man, it always comes back in a TI final. The playmaking is too good. The displacement is too valuable. The potential for the big plays in the team fight is always online. XXS is a Magnus master. I agree with Joey. It's a very underrated hero of his. We often forget about it, but man, it's only going to take a few good skewers in this game to break it open. Terrifying hero to play against when there's everything on the line. And there's not really a good counter to it. If you look at the Falcons lineup, your best interrupt is if you can land one of these stuns, but you know, it's not that Rubik lift. It's not the insta-hex.
No, it's going to have to be a blink, snowball, or punch from Snaking, I think is their best option, or like a quick burrow from Sand King.
But if he has BKB mag, there's almost nothing stopping this game.
Then there's only blink punch, and that feels nigh impossible.
I do like the Tusk pick, though. I think this is a hero that has worked really well for Falcons in the past. Both of their support players are absolute masters on it. It could have gone either way. And it's a hero that gives you that BKB pierce that I think they felt the pressure of lacking in that game 3. You know, when Ame goes in on this Sven, and he is just threatening to chunk you down, what is the interrupt? What happens to stall his BKB duration out and be able to turn those fights around? Tusk is a hero that can give that to you with punch plus the snowball save. It can do a lot here. Ursa can be a hard hero to jump. It's not as straightforward of a Sven game. That said, you always have the Magnus to bail you out if it really comes to it. Another just terrifying scaling lineup from XG. Another game where if you're Falcons, you want to get out ahead. You do not want to fall behind against this lineup at all.
No, certainly not. Feels like a lot of pressure. Like, sure, a lot of attention on Amar, doing this secondary carry and offlane Ursa. But doesn't this just put a lot of weight on Malreen's shoulders? He has to take the burden of all the initiation and all of the early and mid game for Falcons.
Does have his Sand King to do it, though. I think this has been his most explosive hero relative to the rest of the pack. He has really stood out on the Sand King here. He will get it in this pivotal game 4. And they went for it over that Beastmaster into the Shadow Demon, which I think was the right call. I think playing the Roars into the late game against the Disruption just felt terrible for him. This time around, it's a lot more AoE damage, way harder for Xingqiu to go in and stall up his presence in the middle of the team fight. He can still scale like a beast.
Burrow striking away, but XM still gets a good amount of Diabolic Edict damage on this Sand King. And it's going to be one of the struggles. Malreen won't be able to just exist inside of Sandstorm. He will be outdone by the damage over time from the Leshrac.
So Falcons get their Hoodwink Sand King combo. This is a combo we've seen them abuse before. With the amp damage from the Boomerang into the Sand King damage, Sharpshooter on top, that's enough to take anybody out.
Disruption in the bottom lane, being run down by the Gyrocopter. Shockwave trying to separate the two of them, but Xingqiu is slowed down by the Blood Grenade, and the first blood will be taken by Skeeter. In turn, he's skewered back into the tower, but XXS not enough to finish him off. And just now noticing that Snake King opted for Drinking Buddies over the tag team.
This is their combo with the Gyro, right? Drinking Buddies him up, let the Flat Cannon go to work. Really nice damage buff for this hero. They have really strong combinations in this game, plus an Ursa. I'll let you decide what that's worth. Just had to throw that out there at least once.
We'll love to see the combination with that Ursa and how it happens. Epicenter being used. XM didn't expect this little bit.
No way.
No. He's stuck inside the Sandstorm. There's no way he survives a Blood Grenade just in case they finish him off.
Nice pickup from Malreen. Getting aggressive, had the level advantage, hit the level 6 burst off some nice laning. Takes it straight to the Leshrac with a timely rotation from Crit. Probably called it over. And now Crit, he can go straight into the double stack with the Ancients, defend it against Nova, look back towards lane, and then look into that Wisdom Shrine. Very nice sequence for him. This Sand King is going to be fat. And this laning phase turning once more towards Falcons. This series has just been back and forth, both in the draft and in the first 10 minutes. It's been super pivotal for what Falcons want to do here with their lineups. They're winning this one across the board. Triple lane win for them. Gotta be happy about that.
And got some Ancient stacks, and the fact that they got that kill at the time that they did, it meant the Leshrac wasn't there to contest for the Power Rune. The Power Rune means that Malreen can either very efficiently clear out these Ancients, or he can hold on to it and make another move on that Leshrac.
You take Ancients, give the mid lane to the Hoodwink. XM's not going to be able to kick Crit out of here solo. Just super efficient early game here for Falcons. And you have a safe lane that's not easy to contest. Like, we saw the Gyro getting forced out of the lane in the game previous because that starter had such a good matchup. The Mag is not going to do something similar here, especially when you have Tusk with early Drinking Buddies to back him up. These are cores for Falcons that are going to stand on these lanes, and they're going to stand on them for a long time. If you're XG, you're going to get forced into the jungle. You need to look towards the stacking efficiency here. It's going to be a defensive game from them.
Everywhere you look, Falcons max efficiency. Malreen's going to join them here in the bottom lane. Goes after the Shadow Demon. They've got him. Burrow strike underneath the Sandstorm. He'll try and disrupt. He can't even get that much off. Malreen does too much damage. He didn't even pop the amp damage. He'll use it now to put pressure on this offlane tower, knowing that the Magnus is not ready to contest.
Well, it's super nice. Not normally a tower you want to prioritize early, but against the Magnus lineup, you open up both these Ancient camps. Or both these side camps and the Ancient camp. It's going to feel great.
Make a run for it, Crit. He slowed down a little bit. Amar challenging XM. With this early level 6, he can stand up to the damage of the Diabolic Edict. Crit, though, he tried to make his way, weave his way through those trees. Too many heroes from Xtreme Gaming up here, though.
I think you just let Amar exist up here. Like, you have to expect XG are going to bring some numbers up here a couple times. Try and punish this offlane Ursa, but it's also not the best hero for you to play through if you're Falcons.
With that Enrage on cooldown, Xtreme have to punish him. He comes forward to try and collect some CS. That is greedy.
Need another
Will
poison.
he pay the price for it? One more poison should do it. He managed to juke that one.
Can't juke this one.
Xingqiu, he gets a little bit. No, he jukes it. He gets down to the low ground. Dodges the stomp. Now he dodged another poison. He is breaking ankles left and right. Xtreme will go home empty-handed.
So much time wasted up here. So much God Strength time wasted. And Malrine just soaking it all up, putting more tower pressure. That tier 1 bottom fell. He's now putting damage into this tier 1 mid. This is not a lineup you would have expected to be taking tier 1s this fast in this game, but they've just forced heroes off the lane. And now the rotation's coming through. Skeeter TPing into mid with this gyro, wants to secure the objective.
Yeah, Malrine backed him up in taking the offlane tower, and Skeeter will return the favor to Malrine.
And XG, they're just stacking jungle. But this is a jungle that might go straight into the Sand King if you can't defend your own side of the map.
Yeah, you have 2 different stack clears between the Sand King and the Gyrocopter.
Imagine Falcons get in here right now. This is the recovery for XM. I mean, he's just trying to clear through this so it doesn't get stolen. He's just low mana.
Malrine so close to a Blink Dagger. Once he gets that. Nova, I think he made the read there. Snake King taking down the tree for a more optimal ward, but probably gives a sign to Nova to what's going on here.
They do clear through most of the stacks for the Lesh.
And now they're hunting for Ame, but Ame's already backed out.
This Sand King already has Blink, 20 gold. Another deep ward place. This is all to set Malrine up around the map. Let him control the plays. Every jump from this Sand King with support follow-up should be a kill. Battle Fury Ursa. I was wondering if we were going to see maybe some fighting build. You know, there used to be like diffusal builds of the past or something, but
yeah.
No, I'm just going to carry this game. Don't worry, Skeeter. I'll put you in my backpack.
It's just so Amar. XXS chased after a missile and a snowball, and now the ultimate over the top. Double ultimates to secure the kill.
Beautiful connection there. This is why I like the Tusk for them so much. I almost think they forgot about this hero for a little bit. They're like, oh yeah, we're super good with this hero. We have some of the best Tusk players in the world, and it'll give us a lot of more scaling comfortability. Nice combinations with our cores, great catch around the map. This hero gives you everything as long as you can get it through the lane, and they did just that.
Similar play, Malrine has been hiding his Blink Dagger for about a minute here. Finally picks it up as Crit is ready to smoke him to a part of the map that Xtreme Gaming are inhabiting.
This game is just flowing for Falcons right now. You can feel it. Everything is just coming together. And they have an Ursa. Smoke. Smoke is coming. Two-man team looking for Ame up here.
Malrine, he knows.
They are going to go
Crit had to go back to pick up Amar in this smoke, but Malrine, he's got the vision. And in Mame, there's no way out on this one. The kill will be taken by Crit. But it doesn't matter who takes the kill, who gets the bounty for that. The important part, shutting down Xtreme Gaming's carry.
It looks like XXS was debating, can I go the Helm? Do I need to rush the Blink before I even go Helm with Dominator on this mag? I think he would have really liked to just get Helm and start farming up. If this game were a slower pace, that might have been the play. Now he's just considering I need a Blink and we need to go do something.
I agree with this. Things are escalating far too quickly. You have the Blink Dagger on the Leshrac. You can get the Blink Dagger on the mag. You can actually push back against some of Falcon's aggression.
They're looking to do just that. Gank the Snake King Tusk mid with the fresh Blink Dagger.
Tagged him with the poison.
Hesitant to go.
It's just a fine position, guys.
They're going to smoke instead. Look for a bigger target. They want to core off this.
Well, I'm not sure if they're going to find one. Crit is in prime placement here to break that smoke. Xtreme Gaming have actually just pinged on him. Shinkui's not even going to get in range. They miss out on that. And Amar is backing away. This is going to be a smoke entirely whiffed.
Just awkward timing too, because your Magnus Blink just arrived. So you're trying to make a small play with the Sledge, but you do commit the smoke to it. And now XXS sitting here like, guys, I rushed the Blink. Time to make a play.
Yeah, play around me.
You just don't have much map control, and we saw the stacks being cleared through by the Sand King. I mean, the stack differential in this game must be insane. How much that triangle was built up for the Sand King here. He gets an Arcane Rune on top of it.
Well, Malrine has already secured the early game for Falcons, so he can think about his own scale, which we've seen these Sand Kings. They just get stronger and stronger as the game goes through. This Aghanim Scepter allows this hero to do so much more in the late game than he used to. A lot of times, strongest period being that level 12, level 2 Epicenter plus Aghanim Scepter. That's what he's working towards. Falcons taking full advantage of the fact that they own a good 60 to 70% of the map. playing behind Skeeter and playing for that 14-minute Wisdom Shrine. Xtreme, if they want to be able to contest this, it's going to have to be XXS pulling out a sick play. He's got the distance. He can maybe pull them into that tier 2 tower area.
Got to scout with the ET Spirit here. Gain some sort of vision advantage. Scan lands. They know they're there.
Malrine, he blinks backwards. Skeeter, he's the one to play on the front lines. Gets a little vision. Spots XM. XM, he's in danger of being blown up right away, but so is the Gyrocopter. He's pulled backwards there. CRB lands a 3-man. A skewer to finish off one, but the damage is not done yet. Malrine fighting underneath the sandstorm, and Ame behind the shards can't get to his allies.
He's blocked off.
He is blocked off, and now Falcons start making their retreat. Xnova desperately with the stomp. He gets
so
two.
good.
Ame, here comes the hammer. Malrine, he makes the Bro Strike away. Malrine's out. They'll try and get Snake King, but a shards to block him off again. Ame, he tried to show up for his team, but the path was blocked.
6 shards from Snake King there, salvaging that engagement. If Sven gets in there, you are all done.
And Amar is absolutely right. That was a 4 versus 5 fight. I wasn't sure. At first he was talking about the Sven, but no, he's talking about himself.
I was just about to say the same thing. That was a fight without the Ursa there. That's the fight you're supposed to win. You landed a massive RP. The only downside of that is he skewered him out of the Earth Splitter. He was trying to get him closer to Ame, but you ended up dodging the Earth Splitter's damage and then pushing them next to Ame. Didn't pay off because he got stuck behind the shards.
I also think in that situation, you cannot afford the Leshrac to be the one to jump first. He does the most damage, and he rushed a Blink Dagger. He is not tanky at all.
He just sacrificed himself on the front line to try and get the clump, which he did do. I don't think that's a terrible recipe for the team fight. They just couldn't clean it up. And Amar laughing all the way to the bank. He just gets to free farm the whole time. Well done, team. He's learning what Skeeter feels like every game.
He kind of is. 5,000 net worth lead, 7-2 to the favor of Falcons. Another 1,300 gold for that Aghanim Scepter for Malrine. Another 1,200 for Skeeter to get his own Aghanim Scepter.
This Ursa's forcing heroes off the map solo, man.
Yeah, just existing in this part of the map is limiting Xtreme's ability to farm. And soon he's going to have a Blink Dagger and be able to join his team if he chooses to do so.
XG as always, though, will keep farming. This team, pretty hard to force them behind unless you just completely route them off the map. They'll always find something. You have a lot of cleave mechanics to go to work, so got to keep Honey here with this Sand King. Keep putting Malrine's strength to use. Combine it with the supports. Look for the big key pickoffs. You lost some vision off of that fight. As usual, Xnova on point with the D-warding.
I like that Falcons went back to D-ward that high ground. Clearly in that team fight, Xtreme Gaming played around a high ground ward. They take that off the map and just make it a little bit more claustrophobic for Xtreme, who are currently huddled around each other in the mid lane.
For good reason. This gank coming through bottom would have landed if you're farming around in this area.
But then what about the top lane? You can't just let a solo Ursa continue to bully you.
It's a nice Ursa game.
It's a nice Ursa.
It's a very nice Ursa game. Not a lot in XG's lineup that wants to run at him for a very long time. And in fact, this is the flip side of that matchup we saw earlier, where it was the Ame Ursa against the Sven, right? He absolutely took it to Skeeter in that matchup. Falcons now reversing the script.
Well, at this point, it feels like Xtreme are just going to forfeit Roshan. They're going to forfeit Tormentors. I mean, if you're not playing anywhere close to the river, it just kind of guarantees that Ursa's going to be able to take all these objectives for Falcons. Xtreme, are they just already ramping up for the high ground defense in late game?
No, you can't give up that much in this game. They almost died on this ward down here. Oh, they're going back in. I don't know if this is where you want to be right now.
Xnova sacrificing his life to get some information, and it will be his life. Without a doubt.
Better him than a core.
That is true.
But you are continuing to give more momentum to the Sand King and make those objectives harder to contest whenever Amar feels the time has come.
How many more Helma Doms does Xtreme need at this point to be able to rat the map?
Only have the one for now.
The
We'll
duo,
go a long way.
Amar and Malrine. Just checking out the top part of the map, seeing if anybody's here, anybody's farming up the Ancients. They are limiting control.
It feels like XG want to make a move with Ame's Blink. I mean, you can fight if you bring the Sven into the play and he's part of your initiation, but it's a very risky move for Ame.
Yeah,
if that goes wrong, his game just gets thrown down the drain. And it's going to be an instant Roshan or whatever from this bear if that fight is a disaster.
Oh, certainly. Without a BKB, there's a lot of magic damage in these team fights from Falcons. It pretty much means that you have to get a sick initiation if you're Xtreme, if you are going to take this fight.
Especially with Ags done on the Sand King. Maureen's timing perfect here. Just as XG thinking about gearing up for a move, the counter punch arrives, and it's a big one.
Maureen plays off the disruption. And Jinkyu and a Helmadam creep will die.
I think he was disrupting to send his illusions out to scout. They saw him on the ward.
Yeah.
It's a self-setup right there. Maureen says, thank you very much. That's the kill we needed, straight into the Roche pit.
Yeah, it wasn't going to really take much, that's for sure.
Now, the real question is, who takes this Aegis? Carry one or carry two?
It's time to determine who the true carry of Falcons is, and it's Amar.
He asserts dominance here. I think he is the better Aegis carrier.
You know what's funny? On the road to TI, I asked Amar, said, should I put you or Skeeter for my core in fantasy? And he said, if you get good stats for farm, take me. That's coming true. Man had a plan, said Skeeter's going to be the one making space for me, and it's happening in this Game 4 of a TI Grand Finals.
I mean, space is one thing, but he's also top net worth on this gyro. Like, both these guys are getting a lot right now. And this Drinking Buddy's Tusk is still likely going to go into the gyro. There's a lot of problems for XG to solve in this game. This is not the same gyrocopter trajectory we saw in the previous match. He's going to have a lot better time in the fights. He has better matchups. He has more survivability. This will be a 5-man smoke move from XG. This has to land. I mean, this is a massive committal. You're down 12K at 21 minutes. If you whiff here, it's going to be a long road to come back.
Oh my God, Skeeter, he's backed away. It's looking like they're not going to get, I mean, they can maybe, with the position, take the safe lane tower, but a safe lane tower at 21 minutes?
Doesn't feel great.
No, not at all. I did kind of like the timing of that. Was interesting. It was right as Wisdom Shrine was going to spawn at 21, which Maureen, he went for, so he was nowhere in the neighborhood as a result.
Quick smoke from Falcons. Now they're looking to punch back. Not a bad idea. Once this smoke play fails from XG, it's very likely they split up across the map to return to the farming patterns. They will just miss XXS on top of that hill.
Yeah, Snake King shoving them back. And on the other side, Maureen and Crit, the true threat is here. The two-man power team. So much burst damage with this epicenter. They've got the Mag dead. He tries to skewer away, but he cannot escape. And now, X-Nova, he can't escape the bear as well. No, wait, the Purge, it slowed him down just enough, but even worse, it's XM sinking. Now he arrives back into the fight, gets the stun, a Burrow Strike to finish him off. 2 cores dead on the side of Xtreme. The supports limp back to the base.
I mean, XM went in there, he finds Crit, but he pays a big price for sacrificing his positioning. No way you're fighting this bear with 2 lives. Basher already online. He's a catch hero now, too. He's a problem for the Sven. This pick has worked out beautifully. It's just dissuading Ame from joining any of these early fights. And both of these carries are getting massively over-farmed right now. Maybe you take down one, but are you going to be able to take down both? It seems incredibly unlikely. Back to the Magnus pick. You're going to have to make some magic happen if you're XXS here. I mean, this has been a player that XG have gone back to time and time again in their run to this finals. And he has made the plays. And once more, it'll fall on his shoulders to find the skewers or find the RPs. Looking towards BKB Ags of his own would give him a lot more capability to do that.
I'm telling you, man, it's just high ground defense. I think Xtreme Gaming don't really have any other options but just playing defense. And that's not going to feel good against Falcons, who are not known to speed things up.
I was just going to take the entire map, continue to hunt you, build an insurmountable lead. In theory, your lineup is great at high ground defense, but I don't care how good your lineup is. You're down 30, 40K. It's not going to matter.
XXS, got to get something here. Snake King, he'll make it as costly as possible. Stormhammer dodge, and he blinks away. Ame tried to get the cleave hit on him. Does not get the timing for it.
So is Ame's BKB as well.
And Snake King, he watches XM take the amp damage, tries to catch him in the shards. XM does manage to sidestep that one, though. So, a tool to use for the next 2 minutes. An amp damage rune on a Leshrac. He just needs BKB. The sad thing is, he is still a ways away from that.
I mean, does BKB even help him that much? The bear gets on top of you if you get punched by the Tusk. A lot of physical damage in this lineup, particularly with that drinking bundy's amping you up. You might get a taste of the bear right here. XM, that's not who you want to run into.
Amar hunting him down, got a bash. Not required, but Crit will lend a helping hand. Thanking Amar for the kill.
I mean, I think this is thanking him for the pick, because this is just working beautifully right now. XG do not have an answer to the off-lane Ursa. Was not on their bingo card.
Avery, tell me, what's the answer? It's the enemy team drafting 2 carries.
I've been saying we should do this for years. I'm from the NA region, Austin. We play with 3 carries. We were well ahead of the meta. I don't know why it hasn't been done before.
Is that what Xtreme's going to have to do if we go to a Game 5?
It might be. I mean, you just have to escalate, right? If they pick 2 carries, you got to pick 3. If they pick 3, you got to start building Midases. It's the only way you can go. That is the inevitability of Dota. And right now, XG, they would be loving some catch-up gold here because the lead is just spiraling out of control, man. It feels like every minute this game goes on, that graph is accelerating.
Well, the upside for Xtreme, if they ever do find a 4th kill in this game, they'll get a lot of comeback gold, as they are currently down 19,000 net worth. Another 2 minutes to Roshan. If Xtreme is going to make a move, I anticipate it's going to be around that. I'm looking for any items that'll change the nature of this game. It's still XM's BKB.
I think Daedalus for Ame. Give him the big crit. Empower this Sven. If you land some clutch stuns, clutch RP, clutch stomp on the Ursa when he's enraged, stuff like this, slow that fight down, let Ame go to work. This hero can output the DPS. You can bring anybody down.
Maybe he can kill Skeeter before the Satanic allows him to heal up, because that is what Skeeter's going to have. If Ame has Daedalus, Skeeter will have Satanic. And we aren't even going to talk about what Amar's going to be able to have. A level 20 Ursa with an Aghanim Scepter.
You have to kite somebody in this lineup. And it's likely the Ursa try and take down the Gyro. Like you said, if Skeeter gets to Satanic before this next Roche, which looks really likely here, man, he is tough to bring down too. Then you're going to need to get some good skewers here. Abuse the scouting from X-Nova with the ET Spirit. You can find somebody, skewer them in, look for the RP, and then you have Disruption to bail out the return jump from Falcons. That kind of team fight can maybe out-execute.
Yeah, and you, on top of all of that, you have the Elder Titan to fish for the Magnus, right? He can keep on... If you're going to push into them, it's actually just so obnoxious. Stomp after stomp. If you ever do get hit by that stomp, you might be get skewered back to the base, and then Demonic Purge and everything else you said.
There's that punch interrupt. I mean, Snake can always bail these situations out. He's having a really good game on this Tusk, so he got a very early blink in this game. He's going to be farmed. Looking for a Yules, that would be another interrupt. Of course, Magnus BKB prevents a couple of these shenanigans, but the punch can always land. There are the BKBs for XG. I mean, this is their best time to strike back, right? Triple BKB core timing, long durations on all of it. If you can try and land an RP, all in some of these heroes, yeah, Amar is strong, but he can't power through everything.
Against seemingly insurmountable odds, Xtreme Gaming, 5-man smoke, push out. If they get somehow a pick-off or a team fight that works for them, a fast Roshan could allow them to start changing the narrative of this game. Amar, though, he's fearless. He just jumped straight to XXS. Look at the damage he did. Both to XXS and Shin Q, who was in the way of that Battle Fury cleave. And X-Nova is way out of position as his team got jumped. He hides away in the corner, gets a good ward down to contest Roshan, but he TP's back. But now Ame spotted. He really doesn't want to have to use his BKB here.
Amara looking for another entry. Has this deep ward on the lane. Ult is up. That's an Ags ult too. Can't go on him first. They will get the D ward though. Valuable D ward here.
Information might just be their greatest advantage between getting the D ward and having their own wards up.
These 5-man smokes are just usually not the ticket. Yeah. We're seeing XG all in their base again. When you're in this position, it's very tempting to just pop that and look for something, but it almost never works. And you're still closing in on this Daedalus for Ame. You really want that item to try and make this comeback possible.
You know, Avery, it's kind of fitting. I feel like there's been a lot of nostalgia at this TI. And I'm really feeling it looking at this kill score. 12-3, 29 minutes in. I feel like I'm back in like 2014 Dota.
It's one way to look at it.
Yeah.
Radiant's middle
Be quite a different set of teams here if we were back that far. Some of the same players, though. Does take around 10 years to win a TI. Unless you're Thompson.
Very few Royal Roaders in Dota's history, that's for sure. All right, Falcons are the ones to have the smoke. With Roshan at its almost max spawn point, just another minute for that. They know it's guaranteed. They know it's coming their way. It's going to be in this bottom pit, so they're going to clear out this area. Get some good vision down. Xtreme, they only have this one ward to play around. It doesn't really see that much for you.
Just glimpses in that river around this bottom pit. Falcons, they don't want to reach too far with this smoke. Just clear the area out, secure the objective. Don't force a bad fight into all this turnaround potential. Yeah, you have an insane gold lead, but it can vanish in an instant. All this crazy scaling in AoE.
Put Xtreme in a position where if 5 people inside their base to play for Roshan, they'd have to just go for a Hail Mary 5-man smoke. And you've only got one more smoke left for the time being on X-Nova. So Xtreme say, just play for farm. Get an Aghanim Scepter on XXS. Get that Daedalus you were talking about on Ame. This Roshan will give them a solid 30 seconds, maybe even a full minute to get some farm. Ame maybe could take a Tormentor if he's real quick with it.
I think you gotta get something right here. Aegis onto the Gyrocopter. This time around, Skeeter takes it. He will siege the high ground with that item.
The harder hero to get a good skewer back on, right?
100%. And even if you do, he might be able to survive through with Satanic. There's the Daedalus, though, so big crit's going to come through. That's an empowered Sven. Almost level 20 as well. Does have the Gunpowder Gauntlet. Insane amount of burst damage coming out in those first few hits. Might just decide the fight.
Yes, he may be behind the Gyrocopter and the Ursa in net worth, but the Empower adds so much. The Epicenter fine gets the Magnus, though. And there goes all the initiation. Ame is going to try and chase after them, but they're already out. They're up to the high ground, and you cannot go blind up there.
I mean, also the Magnus is your catch. He gets found first. Your chase potential or looking for anything else goes down the drain.
So God Strength used, 70-second cooldown. What is Falcons going to get done in this window?
Go high ground. At least threaten it. Look for some opportunities on the jump from the Ursa while the gyro hits. No Magnus, you're not afraid of the skewer play. Drinking Buddies gives you the flak. No one can really approach here. An awkward glyph timing too. That was not the greatest.
No, with the wave not even there yet. An Octarine done for this Ursa. He's getting to that untouchable state where he gets to 25. He's jumping around with the Urshock all the time. He will just be perma-enraged.
Look for the skewer.
Got the skewer back. No save this time. Snaking trying to pull him back. Shockwave dilutes him a little bit deeper. XXS got to be careful though. The second carry almost dies to Amar, but the demonic purge is there from Shin-Q. Good responses from Xtreme, but it simply doesn't feel like it's enough.
Gotta find ways to output damage, and that means waiting for God Strength to be back up. If Ame's available for that jump, there's turnaround, but he's still waiting on the cooldown. 2 seconds left for this ultimate. Gotta fish again. Gotta find another skewer.
Skeeter getting closer and closer. Ame goes to challenge him, and he's pulled away a little bit by the drinking buddies. Now he pops the Satanic, and it's Ame's turn. Ame's low, corner HP. He needs to be able to hit something. It's finally going to be snaking. Gets that kill, starts backing away, but here comes Maureen with the epicenter to slow him down. They take out Ame. XM in trouble outside the base. He'll be run down as well. 2 cores on Xtreme. Neither have buyback, and Falcons in a position to push us to Game 5. It is over. Xtreme, call it early. They say that's fine. Touche. We'll see you in Game 5.
This series will go the distance.
Nothing will be clean. It is going to be a dirty game without a doubt.
Pure magic as the only term for it. Man, if you are a coach of one of these squads, I would not want to be backstage watching this unfold with no ability to control it.
Hard palpitations.
The draft is set. The players are just going to play out your picks. And I mean, my God, a last pick juggernaut for Ame. You have to remember this Ame juggernaut was the only thing that took a game off of Team Spirit in their perfect EWC run.
That's true.
The only thing Yatoro could not defeat. Ame will go back to it here and face his demons in a Grand Finals Magnus. This is what he chose. This is what he has to live with and what he has to make work here.
I won't lie, I felt a pit in my stomach when I saw the Magnus come up for Falcons. I saw Ame facing a Magnus in a TI Grand Finals Game 5.
Not again, not again.
Okay, let's talk about it. Let's break it down draft-wise, because the games have been incredibly one-sided. We've been here before. We've all been here. Well, maybe some of you haven't, but a long time ago, we had TI3, right? Goes to a Game 5, but those were some one-sided games to lead up to it. Drafting, there was a lot of back and forth all the way back then. There is now today in this series. Who do you think, in your opinion, who do you think walked away with the draft win?
This is honestly impossible to call. I cannot call it one way or the other. I give a very slight edge to Falcons because they got Naga Siren, and this hero has been a teamfight terror. But XG got some decent answers to it. They got the Shaker in response. It's a great matchup. You have long-range disable. You have teamfight. They got the XM Shadow Fiend that was a monstrosity in that Game 3. They have their saving supports. They didn't want anything else. This is everything they want in a lineup. All the scaling that they will need. So much team fight. Just a matter of execution. Can you make these picks pay off? XXS looking for some pressure on Skeeter. Would love a first blood in this lane.
Yeah, gets another enchant totem. And with Shinkyu getting so many hits off, it's amping up the damage. Don't forget about that innate, the menace that he's able to apply. Skeeter loses a lot of mana for that and may lead to something in the future. But for now, no kills just yet. But the CS score is looking mighty fine for Xtreme right now.
And honestly, that has been part of the story of this series. It feels like who pulls ahead in the early game is who pulls ahead more in the mid game and who closes it out.
Do you think that this is supposed to happen? When it comes to the look, I mean, we've got the Shadow Fiend versus the Pango. I feel like that is just a write-up. Pango's gonna, or excuse me, the Shadow Fiend's gonna walk away with a victory on that.
Auto lane win there. I think this juggle free farm no matter what. You can't stop him with a Disruptor 4. This looks like a lane victory for XG. They put themselves in a solid early game position. And this is also not the fastest lineup we've seen out of Falcons, right? They went for Medusa, they went for Magnus. This is not a classic Skeeter hero for a reason. It doesn't make early rotations. It doesn't join the fight super early. It does give you more scale. Will that scale come back to haunt you, though, if it gets reflected off of some Shadow Demon illusions? You can turn this Dusa back against the team itself. There's a lot of small interactions like that in this game. And of course, you have Naga Disruptor. I mean, this is a combo. I don't know how many times I've heard AUI talk about his love for this combination. I played on a team where he played carry Naga to set this all up. He loves this little combo. I've been waiting to see it in this event with how popular the heroes have been. It will finally get busted out in this Game 5. Absolutely deadly in the late game. The sleep into the lockdown Static Storm. You have a disruption to soft bail you out of that situation, but there's a lot of team fight to back that combo up. There's a lot of burst damage.
In that case, do you favor Falcons going into that late game? If we get into that scenario where the teams have not been able to roll over each other with an early game advantage and we push it late?
I mean, honestly, I hate to say this, but it might come down to Omni Slashes. it's a gamble of a spell. I mean, you go in there, there's Lotus Orbs, there's Outworld Stabs. So much can go wrong, and yet so much can go right here. If you land the perfect ultimate, it can break that late game fight open.
Disruption setup, Fisher block off, a bit of damage. Snake King, though. Naga Siren, a very tanky support. And once again, Crit's going to make the early TP rotation for the punish on Xtreme Gaming. That should lock it down. XXS has nowhere to run to, and First Blood is claimed by Crit.
He makes the same rotation top he did in that other game. Turn that lane around for Skeeter, secure this safe lane farm. Do not let XXS get aggressive or have a free farm time up on this off lane for XG. He has been their biggest playmaker. He is their playmaker in this draft. If you shut the Shaker down, the game becomes a lot slower for Xtreme Gaming, and then you're relying on the lane win from this Shadow Fiend to power you through, which, by the way, he is winning the lane CS, but this Pango has been farming jungle incredibly efficiently. Maureen is getting through this matchup.
XXS, he knew there was going to be some sort of glimpse shenanigans here, and now with the Fisher, he's trying to save his support, pull back in. Once again, this Gorgon's grass is turning out beautiful when he's got so much set up for it, both the pull-in of the ensnare and the glimpse.
You have to find a punish somewhere on the map. This is just a straight tri-lane now from Falcons, and guaranteed kills with the net plus the glimpse.
You can't really punish the solo offlaner here. It's a double Bracer Magnus, and you've got Pugna Juggernaut. You're just not going to get a kill with that duo.
It's the downside. No disable on this Pugna to set up the spin kill. Means X-Nova's going to have to win.
Early Rolling Thunder goes after XM. Maureen gets stuck on the cliffs. Still able to find a second hit, but now it's underneath tower. And XM, he's trying to get off the Requiem. Unable to do so. Maybe he can threaten it now. Oh, man, he's get a big heal off the Magic Wand stack. Maureen's the one to die instead. The race to finish him off. And now the punishment comes in twofold. The Shin-Q managed to get a disruption on top of that for a second kill. XM taunting Maureen. He was already walking away with the lane win, but now he's got a massive lead. 57 CS, a kill to be a part of. 3,200.
The fifth, it might get the kill.
Ooh, it was close, but not quite good enough. A raindrop is what separates Snake King from life and death.
What a kill attempt from Maureen. He played that lane so well, salvaging it in the jungle, dodging the rough parts, went for the all-in play, but XM, he had Fairy Fire, he had wand charges, he's able to boost back up, turn that play around, and the support's there at the right time. That's a huge turnaround play for XG. When you pick XM, these lane dominators, you cannot let him fall. His Sniper and Shadow Fiend have been go-tos for Xtreme for a while, for a reason. They build a lead, they take the map over, they take that tier 1 mid incredibly fast. If you gank that hero once or twice and he falls, a lot of the momentum goes out the window. So keeping him alive is pivotal here for Xtreme Gaming. Also building up a lot of stacks for the Shaker. This is something Falcons are eyeing. They would love to get in there and either contest the experience or steal it away with this Pangolier.
But we talked about all tournament long how it feels impossible to do so. You get too close, you're getting echo slammed, you're too far away, you don't get all that experience and certainly none of the gold. Snake King, the best he can do for now is block extra stacks.
They do have a window. No echo yet on XXS.
Miss Skewer. X-Nova, though, still taking so much damage thanks to the healing ward. He will stay alive. And Amar battling out with Ame, but I don't think he's expecting an extra hero here. Shin-Q can't get there in time for a disruption.
This will mean Maureen gets away with some highway robbery on these stacks. Again, no ult on XXS because his lane was so rough. He got tri-lane. Can't go here and threaten that echo. 8-minute power rune, spawns top. Invis will go to the Pangolier here. No luck for XM on that one.
An Invis rune pickup from Maureen. We'll see what he does with that. I mean, it's actually a decent rune pickup if you're going to be invading Xtreme Gaming side of the map constantly, as they're trying to push XM along. Still has a decent net worth lead. He's already kind of rolling.
XG, they missed the D-ward with this Sentry in the river, so Maureen knows what's going on here. They're just baiting this SF out. I mean, they do not want to let XM fall in this early game. You can see the prioritization from the supports. At the same time, they're not kicking people out of this lane, and they're not hitting that tower, which is the progression we saw with the SF when they played it earlier.
Right.
That game spiraled really fast. This is getting stalled out a bit. This is buying time for the two side laners of Falcons to scale up here.
And Amar,
stack contested.
He's feeling like on his Magnus game that the game is going to be slow enough that he can go for that Helmet Dominator. He's not going to be rushing the Blink Dagger, which, considering the lack of pressure so far from the Shadow Fiend, I'm inclined to agree with him.
This is the normal progression you want right here. This is going to help you scale.
Early Omni Slash, and Amar, he levels up the RP, but he will not be able to outlast the Omni Slash.
What a find from Ame. The timing on that is tight with the next wave coming in. You really have to get it on point. he had the exact damage. I think that was literally the last slash of that ultimate.
I mean, Ame asked for the Juggernaut. You better be perfect with these Omni Slashes because this hero is so hard to work otherwise. Omni Slash is just such a fickle spell in that regard.
But he is a Juggernaut master, right? This is his hero. He asked for it in this moment. You have to deliver. Meanwhile, stacks have been being built up for Falcons, and at the same time, the Naga Siren is denying the stacks over on the Xtreme triangle. Snaking has been a menace with the blockage.
Yeah, 9-4. Xtreme doing a lot more of the stacking, but considering the fact that Malrine hijacked probably 3 or 4 of those.
They did not get them all.
Yeah, feels about even.
Still is XM picking up the farm right here. You did not get that early kill on the Shadow Fiend, so he's going to continue to power up. You just have to trade it out with some Empower efficiency of your own. Diffusal done for Malrine. Haste Rune in his bottle. Could be a nice little point to look for something if you're Falcons. He's really strong around the map right now. Not a lot of ability to control this Pango either in the fight. That's the one downside for this lineup against the Pangolier compared to some of the ones we saw earlier with that Bane being banned out first. You don't have a VKB Piercing Disable to control Rolling Thunder in this game.
Timing of this is going to be pretty tight because Xtreme are also almost online. XXS just needs another 200 gold and he will have a Blink Dagger. So if they make the play right now, which they are, 2-man smoke, Crit and Malrine.
They want Ame. If he gets spin off, this might not work, but you have RP.
RP straight to the Stack Storm. He gets off the spin initially. They're still going to go for the kill. The teleports are coming in. He may need a disruption to bail him out here. He got off that disruption right before the Static Storm finishes him with the silence, but it's not enough. Too much with the Rolling Thunder on top of everything. Falcons, they just bring too many heroes to this, and Xtreme, desperate to bail out their carry, just give more to Falcons.
Such a nice timing to hit with this Pangolier. You even get to hold the Haste Rune. And you always have this RP threat on the Jug. You can't just spin TP out. You didn't have Healing Ward available. Didn't have Omni Slash available for 5 seconds. No turnaround potential. They will take this Juggernaut down. An important kill in this laning phase. That Shadow Fiend is still powering up, but if you can disable the rest of the team, it's going to be a lot of weight on XM's shoulders in this game to carry it alone.
Skeeter's been having a peaceful game. Any pressure that he got was matched by Falcons rotating supports up here. And while he's not quite up there with the Shadow Fiend, he's gotten a lot of farm off lane. He's been a part of a couple of kills. And if he wanted to, he could keep this tower alive.
It's tough against the Pugno. 3 points in the blast. X-Nova will eventually get it here.
That's true.
And you inevitably will open up the map if you're XG. In theory, this is good space for the Jug to use later when you can, aggressively split push with the spin TP out threat. But again, you have Stone Gaze, you have RP in this game.
Yeah.
That is not guaranteed, especially when this Blink eventually comes out for Amar. You're going to be worried pushing these lanes super deep as Ame might have to play this game a little safer than you would normally want. Can still scale up really well, but he has to get that Battle Fury online and start putting it to use.
Malrine.
Look at another Power Rune and a great one. Amp damage for this Pangolier.
Yeah, it feels like he's just getting everything he needs right now.
I'd be really surprised if Falcons don't try and start something around this mid lane with this rune.
Sweeping through the jungle, they are going to be spotted by this ward. Shin-Q just sitting behind this tree, seeing if anybody on Falcons oversteps themselves.
Does have Demonic Purge for the Power Rune, so maybe that dissuades you a little bit. Especially if you don't catch the Shadow Demon at the start of the fight. It's kind of the dream catch every time. Take the save out of the equation, take the Demonic Purge out of the equation, no reflection on the Medusa later on.
Yeah, man, you can't afford to let Amar do this to you. He's taking too much. Falcons are still playing the top side of the map as well, but they're going to sandwich him.
They
punish.
Kick him out.
Didn't want to go for the Medusa, but they'll catch Amar on the other side, go through the gate, hit him with the Blink Dagger. And with that skewer, there's nowhere really to run. They try the Static Storm to give him some time here, but another 5 seconds till a skewer, and he's just completely surrounded.
Kill to Ame. Boosts that Juggernaut up. It's going to finish his Battle Fury right on time. Nice little kill to snag. I almost wonder if he could have TP'd out under that Static Storm. It would have been tempting. Still have a free farm Medusa in this game. This Medusa Juggernaut matchup is... It's a really tough one to measure. In theory, it's good for Jug because he has a little bit of sustain. He can build the mana burn items if he really wants to, Disperser later on. He has a great tool against you in the Omni Slash to kind of bypass the Stone Gaze, but it can also just go horribly wrong if Medusa hits her timings, gets a fast butterfly, is taking Roshan's against you, and is just barreling down lanes.
Yeah, she's such a damage soak that a lot of times these Omni Slashes are going to feel ineffective if Medusa's in the middle of them.
Looking at Amar again, but without the Shaker, you don't have the damage and control to bring this guy down. 2,000 HP with those bracers while on shreds.
Yeah, he dies once, he just runs it back down the lane. Says, go ahead, give it a try if you want.
Yeah, he's just running at him.
And X-Nova's trying to run away, but Crit, he'll catch up with a glimpse here. X-Nova doing what he can, but of course, too many disables, not going to be able to teleport away. A 5th kill for Falcons, but on the other side, a much bigger one. Skeeter, hit by the disruption. He got off the stone gates, they're going to turn themselves away. The Croakers stall him up a little bit, but he's already out. Xtreme really didn't commit too much for that. They could have tried to go for the Requiem, but
it's hard to get that angle. Unless that SF is already on top of when you disrupt. It's difficult to walk in there and get that Requiem, believe you have the DPS to bring him down. He had full wand double Lotus.
Yeah, that is pretty tough to get through.
A tanky hero at this point in the
game.
So
why not make the same play as last time? A little bit of feint up to the top lane and then back through the gate. Sandwich Falcons again on this play. If you want to keep playing aggressive down here, we'll keep picking off the heroes. This time they only get the support. Malrine
bait an illusion, but
he does not have a TP scroll, but he does have Rolling Thunder.
They're going to see he does not have TP.
Can they get in front of him anyway? Nah, he's too fast.
And they TP'd XXS down here as well, maybe feeling like he was backed into a corner, but the catch will not be there in time, and this is going to give up a lot of map control. Mid wave pushing in, top wave pushing in. Medusa illusions, adding fuel to the fire here with some Dark Troll Summoner creeps.
Tower denied by Malrine. A game of such close margins.
Look at this smoke. Without the initiator, though, this could be awkward.
Oh, it's going to be very awkward. Spotted by a Helmadom creep. They'll get the 100 gold for it, maybe take some neutrals, but it's not the smoke that they wanted, especially with all this damage on this top tower.
If you're XG, you also don't want this game to turn into some sort of, Naga ratting the lanes fest where you can't catch anything and you have very little information. This hero can make the map miserable to play. There's a rune denied.
Nice deny from Snake King.
But I like that dead even in this game 5. This was not a game that was just auto won off the lanes, and I don't think it's a game that's auto won off the draft.
I do feel like Xtreme Gaming are going to reach this point soon where they're going to have to pick up the pace once they get this Blink Dagger on XM. I don't know if he could play the same game last time where he just farms up to a BKB and then to an Aghanim Scepter. I am very, very leery. The potential of the illusion push from the Naga Siren and the Medusa, that sounds... I don't want to get into that world. I don't want to be chasing around these illusions all over the map.
If you believe in the Juggernaut Shadow Fiend scale, Shadow Demon can turn it around against them, right? You can be disrupting these illusions around the map, pushing the lanes back in. It's a great support at farming off the back of that. But I agree with you. Like, this is a game you want to get something done with your timings, particularly these Blink Daggers on the core heroes. Start hunting. Looking aggressive for the team fights, looking for Malrine, looking for the Magnus. If you can find those two, or at least one of them at the start of the fight, it can be very good for you. And you can bring Ame in there, and he should be able to contribute more than
this information, instant Echo Slam! Baited out X-Nova! The punish, the Fisher, it doesn't stop the skewer away, and a song to reset things. Falcons are not in a position to keep it going, though. They will simply teleport out.
Smart
it was
song.
a great reaction there from Xtreme, but that is the problem with the Naga Siren.
Can always bail you out of a rough situation. You have BKBs later on, you can power through that, but for right now, it'll get Amar home. Super quick jump from XXS. They were absolutely ready for that play. Still, Amar gets out. Like, this tanky build for the mag. Proven problematic, and you throw some disruption spells behind him, some sustain later on. This Naga's going to build some utility.
Quick Static Storm, X-Nova.
And they're just running a pack. Quick Pugna kill, run the same heroes into the mid lane, grab the Shaker this time.
Pull him back in with the RP and the Rolling Thunder to ensure that if Xtreme were to respond, it's a hard fight to take. XXS is tanky, but not that tanky, and XM tries to come in with a Requiem. He's doing this solo. Wait, no, Ame comes in from the side with an Omni Slash.
It's a great one.
Malrine, he gets a lot of damage on him, but it's not enough. One more hit, and that's its ring. It keeps Malrine.
And it's really going to fall on Jin Hyu to deal with the lane pressure by returning the illusions into Falcons. Looking for the glimpse, force the spin. I don't think Amar's in range here to try and turn it around, so no damage, no foul after that pause.
Yeah, but the spin on cooldown as well as the Omni Slash, Malrine feels very confident he can take this mid-tier 1 tower. The first significant blow of the game goes the way of Falcons. They now have a 3,000 net worth lead.
and they are racing towards this Medusa butterfly. That's the scary part here for Xtreme Gaming. This timing for Skeeter is going to be really strong. Their heroes do not deal with it well unless you can just isolate this Naga. And you can't do that until you have BKBs because Song can always bail him out, and then Falcons will reset with Static Storm, Stone Gaze.
The game of initiations is going to be so crazy to watch because Xtreme Gaming, they already had the Blink Dagger on the Earthshaker. We saw the effectiveness of that when Amar tries to make his jump. But then you're also going to have a Blink Dagger very soon on Shin Q, and that's going to be a big pickup.
Oh, look at the 9 Amar down here. He blinked into XM.
And he sure did. He brought XM with him when he tries to skewer away. One raise, where's the stuns? They've got none. They only have damage, and it's not quick enough.
He blinked into that skewer. He's like, take me with you. I'll try and bring you down. Sick attempt to find the Magnus, but again, the tankiness of this build pays off. Amar's able to play it very aggressively and get out. This is
20 minutes.
Tormentor.
Yeah, Falcons, they see all these heroes from Xtreme on the other side of the map. They know this Tormentor, it's all theirs. And so the Shard, that'll go to Snake King. It's a nice really nice upgrade.
He's so rich now. He's only going to get wealthier.
Song of the Siren giving max HP regen per second, so when he gets the save off. But then there's something even more special. Max mana regen as well. That's even more effective with this Medusa.
It's great for all their cores. Beautiful Shard to get this early in the game too. Means you could just finish up that Solar Crest, go into other utility. They already have a drum on crit. Early utility online for Falcons. Butterfly done for Skeeter. This lineup is hitting a power point.
Once again, XXS baiting out X-Nova, who's going to try and play for the Wisdom Shrine. No overextension, though, from Falcons. Not yet. The Omni Slash is laid down.
It's
sticking on to Malrino. It's sticking on to Skeeter. He gets a lot of damage done. The Stone Gaze goes down. The Rolling Thunder has used so many ultimates popped by Falcons. They do not get control of the Wisdom Shrine. That goes to Xtreme. Xtreme not able to chase and punish. But I think they're happy just to be able to get something out of Falcons without losing anything in return.
Honestly, this Omni Slash has been doing a lot of damage to these Falcons heroes. You get BKBs on these other cores, you commit in with that single punch, you know, Echo Slam, Requiem on top, Omni Slash on top of all that. Some of these heroes are going to explode. Even if the Song is over top, the burst damage is insane. This is what XG are gearing up for right now. They will have to hit their stride in the next 10 minutes here before this Dusa becomes impenetrable. And that is Snake King's job. Slow this game down. Buy time for the Medusa to get to this Scotty where she becomes an absolute beast in this game. And look towards that Roshan.
With the butterfly advantage, it feels tough. The Scotty, that'll be something different for Ame to have to contend with. He's trying to work on a butterfly of his own. There's that Blink Dagger for Shin Q. Good pickup. And double BKBs will be coming in soon for both XM and XXS.
I do not envy Jin Q's position in this game, though. To decide between an offensive disruption and a defensive one, which one do you need more? It's very tempting to go for that offensive disruption on the Dusa and turn those illusions against Falcons. At the same time, you use it offensively and you don't have it to bail out one of your cores that gets RP'd or Static Storm, you're going to really regret it.
That's true. And maybe that's where X-Nova is going to have to step up because he also has a save available. Maybe it's not as effective, this Decrepify, depending on what sort of damage is being thrown around, but I mean, Falcons, it's a lot of physical damage, to be honest. Anytime you have a Pango, that's just going to be core that's all physical damage, so.
I mean, Pugna's always annoying on that backline. It's just the displacement from the Magnus can be his problem. You pull this hero away from XG's formation. Very hard for Pugna to turn that sort of fight around.
And once again, Falcons having the advantage. Push the tempo of the game. They're going to take this Roshan. And Xtreme not really in position to contest. They're going to play for farm, play for that double BKB timing that we were talking about.
Believe in Ame, believe in the Juggernaut. That's all you can really do right now because Skeeter is untouchable with this Aegis. And that'll finish up the BKB for Amar as well. He feels untouchable at this point. You'd have to land a massive synchronization of these ultimates to bring these heroes down and win the fight overall.
The Naga Siren with the Blink Dagger. Snake King's going to be playing way off in the back to try and come in with those song saves. But the BKBs can allow them, if Xtreme get that advantage, to just push through the song, get these kills anyway.
Such a terrifying hero to play against. Even if you get the perfect team fight, this Naga can put you all to sleep and reset the entire situation. See how much Skeeter can get done with this Aegis. He's got a long time on the clock. Definitely enough to get to his Scotty. Probably enough time to take down 2 tier 2s if you really want to force that mid one. I doubt these are towers XG wants to fight. The positioning is just not that easy. There's going to be Naga illusions in your base. And it's all about the Juggernaut's timings. Ame, he wants his butterfly before he has to be pulled into a fight for his life here.
Yeah.
You need the damage upgrades on this hero.
Very efficient from Falcons. They take that bottom lane. The Helmet Dom creep was pushing in mid, so they didn't even risk any heroes. Falcons staying grouped up together. Now the Medusa is going to hit that mid tier 2, and it's going to disguise a smoke push in from Falcons. 3-man smoke into the triangle, not finding anything just yet. Xtreme, they've called their forces back to base for now.
Oh, but they did not recall Ame. He is so close to being in range for that RP.
He backs away just at the right time.
I mean, you've got to remember, he doesn't have BKB. If you RP skewer him into Static Storm, that's it for him. He's gone.
Kind of poke at Skeeter here. Of course, with the Aegis, it's a Medusa. It'll take forever to kill her the once. There's no way that Xtreme are going to go on this, and Falcons know it.
At the same time, they're smoking out. Since they're not afraid to take some sort of engagement or at least look for a pickoff while this Aegis is online.
There is a lot of information from Falcons with these deep lane wards once again.
These are some nasty obs in this jungle, not being killed right now.
XXS, he'll try and cut that mid wave. Thanks to his shard, it's made a little bit easier.
Falcons instantly running back to this part of the map.
Oh yeah, they've got so much vision here. Double wards in this jungle area.
Could be a disaster.
And they got the glimpse back. The disruption goes out. And on the return, X-Nova. He's fine. Amar, he thought about stretching out for that skewer attempt, but...
I mean, you got to know there's vision here now. You either fight it or you vacate the area. XG getting corralled early in this game. I mean, the net worths don't look too bad, but they're losing a lot of space, a lot of ground right now. Jingq going for the offensive disruption. Little harass in the Skeeter here.
Yeah, with the illusions combined with a couple of stuns, Medusa does take a lot of damage, but...
That's a lot of damage, actually, yeah. Those things hurt.
They do.
Downside of the butterfly, right? Goes both ways. There's the Scotty, however, 2,000 mana pool.
It'll be the downside of the Scotty as well.
Oh, they found the mag. The initiation on the Magnus. A massive pickup, but he's still got the RP, the song. Still, the RP has to be used defensively alongside the song. They just got to run. Echo Slam got used, but XM does not get off the Requiem.
How did he not get that off? You have to be instant on these jumps. The cores have to go together. One jump is never going to be enough in this game. It has to be 2, maybe 3. A big missed opportunity for XG. Does get to the butterfly on Ame. You can still look for something with this Omni Slash, but there's still the dire vision in your jungle. You never got rid of it.
And your own vision is going to be in danger because the early gem pickup from Falcons. They're going to push into this side of the map again. Once again, looking for a glimpse play. They know XM doesn't have his BKB. He just has to Requiem. Hope that the fear pushed them far enough back, but the Magnus is going to chase after a snake. He got him with the ensnare. Wait, a Fissure, they're so clumped up. A Fissure hits on 4. If only there was some damage behind it. But Ame, he wasn't there yet. He's trying to get there somehow, wrapping through these trees areas, but he's just not going to be able to get there to punish anything. It's going to be instead Jingq to die. Both supports fall, and they take that high ground ward away from Xtreme.
What you wouldn't have done to have Echo Slam available on that 4-man clump. Of course, Falcon's going in there knowing it's on cooldown.
I mean, even just an Omni Slash probably would have won them the fight. But Ame, understandably, he has to work towards his MKB. As soon as he gets the MKB, he can take that man fight against the Medusa, perhaps. But until then, it's so difficult.
He believes in his scale here. He believes in the matchup.
Once again, XM spotted. Another ward, another deep ward that spots him on his way up here. And now Skeeter's on the other side, trying to get in front of him. He's going to go for the TP away. And Skeeter, he does... No, wait, the glimpse back. He gets a BKB.
That is very close.
It was so close. Just ran out towards the end of it.
Wearing through this Aegis. It is now expired for Skeeter. Playing field is even once again as some Blink Daggers coming out for a lot of these heroes. And the more important one, Ame, opting for Blink Dagger before he heads into that MKB.
I think he saw that opportunity from that Fissure and
100%.
was just like, oh, if I had a Blink Dagger there, what a world of difference it could have been. Another opportunity like that shows up, I will be prepared.
It makes sense with this lineup. Again, you have to jump together. Ame needs to be able to get in there when the opportunity presents itself. You may never get another one. And you have to get in there quick because that song is going to come out and reset the fight no matter what opening XXS finds. It's absolutely the right call. Just a matter of can you find that window. MKB also being built up from Skeeter. Just a true mirror match between these two carries as the Jug attempts to close the gap.
Ame's been sitting on a ward for a while. Now X-Nova realizes, uh-oh. He started going through the gate. Falcons thought better of it, though.
The Falcons' words have been on point, though. Another obs down here doing some work.
He keeps getting closer and closer to the gate. Ooh. And finally, Falcons, they just pull the trigger on it. Like, well, okay, we can catch him, but no. Hides away in the trees. Skeeter, who went first, did not get him with the Gorgon's grasp.
Space created right there.
Oh, absolutely. Any bit of space for Xtreme is worth its weight in gold right now. As Aghanim Scepter is almost done for XM, alongside that level 20. It's a big power spike to have.
So much execution necessary here for XG to win a fight, though.
Yeah, and they're going to need every bit of that because it feels like they're going to have to contest Roshan.
This is a scary Aegis to go away. Your high ground defense is not great other than disruption. You're likely getting skewered off it. 2 lives on Skeeter. That's just too much mana, too much HP to get through. Especially with Horn Toss available for Amar. And that win probability has swung considerably here.
Oh, man.
XG, they have their work cut out for them. There are pathways to victory in these fights. It is a very thin margin.
Yes, this is not quite like Game 4. It felt pretty much undefendable for Xtreme Gaming. This situation, you can definitely see they have the scale, they have ways to be able to make big team fight plays, but it is without a doubt in Falcons' advantage. It probably will be for some time.
So much can go wrong, right? Like you go in with that Omni, it bounces to a random Naga illusion and dies. There goes a lot of your damage.
Yeah.
You get songed on the jump in because someone doesn't BKB, that team fight can be over. You get stuck in the stone gaze while you're trying to Requiem, XM can just be a sitting duck. All these little interactions can just absolutely ruin what you're trying to do right here with the burst jump. And Falcons know it. They're going to send illusions out. They're going to play for the vision. They're not going to try and give you an easy opening. And if Amar sees a jump, he will take it.
And grind it out. Another Tormentor. Another shard for them. Roshan's going to be, spawn point's going to be soon. Somewhere in this next 3 minutes. Xtreme Gaming, get the map control while you can.
Mars rewarded. Extra skewer range, really nice here with this Horn Toss buildup.
Yeah, you move these heroes far enough away, it may not matter what kind of team fight Xtreme Gaming is able to put together. They just can't reach the hero that is pulled apart.
To me, it's on Ame and this MKB. Can he land a good Omni Slash in that fight? Can he output the DPS? He gets here, he has a chance to bring this Medusa down. He has a decent shot to bring the Pangolier down, even in a Rolling Thunder. Malreen's very susceptible to just getting burst down by this Juggernaut. Doesn't have a defensive item. No Ghost Scepter online yet. Buys it out, flying it now. That's going to be a huge pickup for him.
Yeah, we've seen part of the problem with this matchup for Pango in this tournament. He Rolling Thunders in. There's really not much he can do if he gets Omni Slash. He just has to steer his way into neutrals or his own team and hope that the Omni Slash bounces off of him. But if he is isolated, it's just 100-0.
Falcons are building up the cheap answers right now. Double Ghost Scepter across their 2 cores as the MKB arrives. The Mag and the Pango.
Goes fishing, finds the Horn Toss. Disruption, but only halfway through. And Malreen's going to ensure the kill, at least trying to with the Rolling Thunder. Xtreme protects himself. There's an Omni Slash. He may make it to his team. Malreen is still alive. No, he goes down. And Shin-Q finishes him off with the Demonic Purge.
Is this the opening? XG, can you find more right here?
Oh, if they could just catch Skeeter, but the Fisher was just a little bit off the mark. Now he's teleporting away. The Croaker stopped.
The disruption.
It's not disruption. Oh, he was halfway through that animation.
Shin-Q, you were on the precipice of finding the biggest opening in this game yet, and he was mid-animation. You cannot get any closer than that.
Robbed what could have been an opportunity for Xtreme to take the Roshan, but instead, Falcons will have their heroes up to contest.
Still very clutch disruption. They got confused as to where that target was going to come out. That Omni was dicing up the Pangolier. Did not get the Ghost Scepter off. A lucky bounce kind of bailed him out, but he ended up dying anyway. They do get a gem out of that fight. Big gain for Xtreme Gaming in terms of that vision advantage. And a misstep there for Falcons. I mean, they were thinking they were getting a free 5. Yeah, out with Blink Aether Lens on this Shadow Demon. The turnaround potential is immense. Still, Falcons, they feel strong. They're going to push into this area. Even without the Pangolier, they know some of the ults are on cooldown. And Xtreme Gaming, they are very dependent on some of these ults, particularly that Omni Slash.
Yeah, Xtreme need another 45 seconds for that Omni Slash. And Roshan, they're going to leave a Medusa illusion inside the pit. We'll see it as soon as it spawns.
I cannot believe they're pushing up like this without Ame. I don't think you have the damage to take down the front line without him.
The Roshan roars, and that's the call to action for Xtreme. They bring their 4-man. But what about Ame? He's trying to make his way over here. They don't know how quick
they got the Pango.
Disruption out, and on the side, there goes that Requiem. Blowing up Maureen. Skewered back onto the Shadow Demon. He got off the Demonic Purge. That is excellent. And Decrepify goes down as well. They have to Static Storm this Shadow Demon just to get the kill on him.
This fight is open right now.
It is. Ame wasn't even a part of that one, and now he's got his Ame Slash. Xtreme Gaming, there is an opening here.
They do not want to press it.
Can they force the fight? Can they take the Roshan, or are they just going to sit back and play for more time?
It was such a clutch find from XXS. He saw that Pango for a brief second try and go up to that hill. That ward did so much work and just instant jump. Could see the difference now between here and that fight earlier. You get the stun on the Pango, XM, you better instantly get in there. You have about 2 seconds to make your play or it's gone.
Skeeter is still playing inside this pit. Another roar goes out. Xtreme Gaming well aware of what's happening here. Stalling and stalling.
Ame is just farming. He's doing Ancients right now.
Yeah, he's almost to a Swiftling.
It's like calling their bluff. It's like, you're not going to do Roche.
And you would be right about that with Roshan now swapping over to the other side of the map. Just another minute of farm time for Ame.
He made the most of it. Omni Slash back up, almost level 25. Do smoke and try and contest this? Yes. XG will not give up this Aegis for free. A tough angle to contest. Dire Ward scouting the entry to their triangle, but does not see them deeper in.
There's so much vision. Amar, they blink backwards on XXS.
There were creeps scouting.
Deal with the Watcher. Roshan's already dead. The smoke up Falcons. Now on the offensive, looking for the glimpse pickup. Found it on X-Nova. Pull them back inside the Static Storm. These supports are worth the ultimates. The saves are too annoying for Falcons. They let the Medusa lead the charge. They don't have to risk anything else. The Swift Blink, it's done for Ame, and he's pushing to level 25 soon. Can this Juggernaut, can Ame carry this for Xtreme? They have put everything in this Juggernaut basket.
I don't think there has ever been a more important Omni Slash in the history of this game right now. And if this is the spell you have to rely on, the tension in that booth must be at an all-time high.
Yeah, it doesn't matter how good you are with the spells. Sometimes
it just doesn't go your way.
It just doesn't go your way. Luck can play against you.
You leave it up to fate. Can you find that opening? Refresher arrives for XM. You'll have double Requiem to play with. Might buy you a lot more time in the fight, a lot more control too if you can land the double fears on some of these core heroes before the Stone Gaze comes out. Maybe make a zone of control so this Magnus can't get in there. All of that goes out the window, of course, if Amar just finds the jump with the Horn Toss Skewer. But Jinkyu, he's been ready for those plays. Disruptions have been pretty on point.
Yep.
It is also something Falcons can play for, right? I go in with the Horn Toss. I know the Shadow Demon's going to show. Someone else get that Shadow Demon when he goes for the save. It can be a two-sided play.
Knowing how important this Omni Slash is, and the counter is right there. Everybody knows it. Lotus Orb. Look at Crit's gold. You make the call. What would you do? Would you get the Static Storm or would you go for the Lotus Orb? They have Song into Static Storm, Ag Static Storm. It feels like a guaranteed team fight win, but at the same time, Lotus Orb is the ultimate defense against Ame right now.
I would go Ags just because it's so guaranteed with the Naga. But Crit, he always plays for the team. He always makes the right play. I think he's going to go the Lotus here. He's going to try and reflect that Omni.
No, he bought out the Ags. He's already bought 3 of the components. 500 more gold until he's got an Ags. Somebody funnel him some gold. Amar fishing, got the Horn Toss, and Fisher's not going to stop the Skewer. Back into the Static Storm it goes. Once again, the support is picked off. There is still this annoying Shadow Demon with the disruptions, but it's on cooldown for a bit. Skeeter will take that chance to hit a tier 3 and take down the tier 3 in quick succession. There's that Axe. Flying out for Crit. If they get the right, no! It's gonna be Xtreme jumping first! They go all in for the Magnus, and they've got him!
Look at Skeeter, he got feared into the base.
He did, he got pushed in deep. Falcons get a bit separated, but Xtreme, once again, they're playing it slow. They hit the Fisher now, the follow-up. Ame, he's making the call to jump in. Takes a lot of damage. Oh no, they're rolling down the Omni Slash! No! Ame! What about the Omni Slash?
Didn't get it off in time, underestimated the burst damage, was trying to hold it for the second life and paid a massive price. No buyback available for this Juggernaut right now. He is 600 short.
The team gave them an opening. They got the pickoff.
He got too greedy with
And
it.
now the team has to hold for him. Can they weather through? Skater, a minute and a half left on the Aegis. They're trying to chip away at it, see if they can take it for free.
It's like you have to wait for the Juggernaut here. I mean, you go in and Requiem this Medusa, it's just not doing enough right now. You have good stall mechanics at least. This is not going to be the fastest push. But this will be a lane.
And there are no tier 2s left. Falcons won. They can keep this going. 40 more seconds till Ame's back up. 1 minute on the Aegis. Falcons have made the call. They're going to go another. Or maybe not.
You might not get another chance like that in this game, especially with that Ag Static Storm online. RP available. All the ults up for Falcons in 2 seconds. And you still have Aegis for 30.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Do XG even have any smokes left? They popped
Inside
so
of the
many.
base, Amar, a horn toss. Oh, if he could find XXS, that would be a beauty.
He wants to return the favor.
Maybe it's X-Nova once again. The Pugna toss back to the team. There's nothing Xtreme can do about this. It's just time and time again. Horn toss into out. And they have to play 4 versus 5. Ame's finally back up. The tier 3 is almost dead though. Skeeter keeping up the pressure. 14 seconds till the Aegis will despawn. They'll back away, let the regen kick in. And a smoke up from Xtreme, hoping that Falcons would continue to take the fight as the Aegis expires, but they'll make no mistakes here. It's time, Avery. Snaking has Song of the Siren back up. He's got a Blink Dagger.
I mean, this could just be it. You find a great clump here. You drop that Static Storm. This game is just over.
This could be the killing blow. Xtreme Gaming, you have to play with speed here. They have to make the initiation. They have to be so fast that they beat out Snake King's Song.
They used their last smoke as well. It's about to expire. The vision is not on your side. The buybacks are not on your side. You're missing the 2 big ones here.
The creeps are pushing in. The illusions are pushing in. The Naga Siren, the Medusa, it's all over the place. Falcons will give them a moment of reprieve. 2 minutes until another Roshan. They've got such an advantage. There's no need to rush things with these high ground pushes. They are dangerous.
Let the Naga illusions do the work. Let your high ground wards do the work. You have so much vision control right now. Why take a bad fight when you can take a great one? Skeeter is capped, man. He is 6 slotted. He can eat an Ags, buy something else, but
Yeah, they already have all their shards. There's nobody to get it from this Tormentor.
nothing left to get here.
You have almost every advantage you could ask for Falcons. They have Ags on almost every single hero. They have a shard on every single hero. Xtreme Gaming holding on. They've got a couple ultimates. We've got the Refresher on XM. We've got the level 25 on the Juggernaut. Opts for the lifesteal.
He needs BKB though. He cannot enter the fight unless he's just instant Omni into spin versus the Static Storm, versus these RPs, versus the Rolling Thunder into the Medusa damage like we saw earlier. He buys out. I think this is the correct call, but no buyback available for Ame. It will not be available in this next fight.
No room for mistakes here. But it might not even be a mistake. What if Snake King just songs into the base and they're able to just Static Storm it? Like, what is he gonna do? He's just dead.
You get disrupted and hope you can survive. That is it.
Xtreme Gaming are gonna have to be so disciplined on their spacing here. Even deep inside their own base. All the way back behind tier 4s.
Yeah, they just don't know where the jump is coming. They have no vision right now. Falcons, they're probably just waiting for next Roche. But you don't know that if you're XG right now.
The illusions are just non-stop 6%. Xtreme are backed into a corner. Will they contest for the Roshan? Can they contest for the Roshan? Is Falcons even give them that opportunity? Or they
so
just
difficult.
make Roshan roar and then smoke into you?
Yeah, there's no way they just sit in the pit. I mean, maybe you sit Skeeter in there, but it's not going to be a clump fight that you can take advantage of. There's always going to be Naga illusions on you. You're running out of smokes in this game as well. And the big questions for these cores, do you buy out in these situations? How valuable is your buyback versus something like a refresher on that shaker? 6K gold on XXS. It's do or die. The refresher might win you that fight. It could win you the game. Buyback could also win you a base fight. Might not even be able to get to the shop. That's another concern here.
These souls cast speed, so we're going to have some instant Requiems going out. He's got 2 of them. That is so much damage if you are right on top of a hero.
But think of how much control he has to go into.
Oh, yeah.
Double Song, Ag Static Storm, Stone Gaze, RP, Rolling Thunder. Any of these spells can mess you up.
XXS buys out that refresher. He's
all
playing
in.
for the all-in.
Could have buyback available if he gets 500 more gold or so here, but that is not an easy task with how little map they have to work with.
Oh,
And
yeah.
There's just no way Ame can get his up.
They're getting the crumbs that are falling off of Falcons' tables right now.
Falcons know it. They're going to play it safe. They're going to play it disciplined. They're going to play for Roshan. Put an Aegis on this Medusa. There's a decent chance he just becomes untouchable. They're getting more Omni/counter ability. E-Blade available for this Magnus. They can build into some more Lotus Orbs.
E-Blade, a Ghost Scepter. That's about it. Surprisingly, no Lotus Orbs, which they could have just gone for that and let Skeeter hit high ground, just keep throwing those Lotus Orbs on him, but they played for the bigger kill. This big team fight combo. Falcons back up, go for the Roshan. It'll roar, and we'll see what Xtreme do about this. Even if they smoke up, are they going to be able to get there in time?
It just seems like an impossible fight. If you know they're coming, you just song the play. You make them BKB early to have to commit. There's going to be some RP interrupt.
Got the horn toss once again. The Pugna punished time and time again. Somebody has to die for this horn toss skewer combo. They'll get the pick off. They force the buyback, and they still claim the Roshan. The Aegis picked up. XM, he doesn't want to let them just push back into the base. They're going to try and play for this high ground. But again, these illusions are scouting things out. Falcons leaving nothing to chance here.
Snaking is very familiar with playing a late-game Naga Siren lineup in a TI Grand Final. This is a team that knows how to abuse the vision, knows how to look for the jump. They have the vision. They have the jump. This game is in their control right now.
Break it down for me, Avery. How does Xtreme win this fight?
Massive Requiems, a great catch from XXS, and the Omni Slash has to land.
He got two! He got 2 inside of that! The man just took it to him! He said, what do I need? It's all me, baby! I've got this! Finds an opening on 2. Now Ame has an opportunity. Oh, that outworld staff, man! It's just too good of a counter to the Omni Slash! Ame's making a run for it. He'll get back to the base safely. Falcons have bought back on Amar, though.
They want to end it. They still have Aegis. They know all the ults are on cooldown. This junk did not do enough with the opening.
Almost out of mana on the first life here. Skeeter is getting quite low.
They do have a refresh Requiem available.
Yeah.
XM hiding in the trees, looking on this ward. Skeeter backs up. That's a 1 team fight for XG, stalling out this Aegis. XXS does it again. This man finds openings out of nowhere, and he has been decisive on the trigger.
Yeah, I couldn't even get to the preamble. He just saw a moment, went for it. 2 steps in a blink.
You have to play like that in this game if you're going to win it as XG. And the Slugger hits almost killed Snaking. He got hit by 2 fissures, a bunch of Slugger echo damage. Naga almost died from collateral. And that was with the song going out. That's the upside for XG in this game. If you can find the jump, if you can commit, if you can put your BKBs to use, there is no counterplay to that other than the RP coming through. And it's not always fast enough, and it's not easy to get through these Requiem fears. 2.5 minutes left on the clock for Skeeter. Round 2 here for Falcons. They buy the mag to continue the push. As XG trying to wait for ultimate cooldowns.
The banner gets dropped, and the damage, it's coming so fast. Xtreme had to cobble together some sort of idea here. Ame, he'll blink forward, deal with the banner.
Does have buyback
Spin on
now.
Cooldown.
It's worth mentioning. 2
Rolling
lives
Thunder, that's going to be a bit wasted here. Malrine tries to blink it again. Very awkward. Very far forward.
There's no punish, though.
That'll be a second lane. No response from Xtreme on that.
They are being pushed to the limit here. Bend, don't break. That has been the motto of this squad, but you can only bend so far.
And amp damage is in that top rune. Falcons.
Oh, do they see it? Does someone go back to
see
check?
it, man. Skeeter setting up 2 minutes. He wants to force this now.
Look, A on disc, ready to be assembled for ATF. You might not be able to get that same kind of play on the Magnus anymore.
One building left till Megas.
You gotta go here.
Half
This
HP.
is-
Where's the jump? They make the jump now. Try and hit for the Requiem. The RP gets locked down as well. Song. Still though, the Fear pushes the Medusa inside. Little bit of a problem. Half mana for now. Trying to stall things out. Got the Static Storm out. Glimpse back onto him. Refresh. He couldn't get off the BKB. He's in trouble. Decrepify's gonna wear out. Xtreme. Now he gets off the BKB. He's making a run for it, but the Stone Gaze will allow Skeeter. He'll take Megas.
XG against Megas. Need to
XXS,
find
he doesn't want to let him
something.
lead. He's running straight to him. He challenges Crit, but a cheese goes off. Crit, he's alive for now, but he's
Skeeter.
separated the rest from the
He's
Medusa
isolated.
refresh. And now he's got lots of stuns. It's a Winkle, a little bit more. Requiem, Fisher, everything they have. A jump forward, goes after Crit once again. Wait a bash. Still though, the Medusa's in trouble. Ame, wait the song, and they can't stop him.
Where's
He's
the
teleporting away. There is no stuns.
He didn't omni him in the Ghost Blade because he felt like he was gone, but the song bailed him out. Falcons escape with everybody. Another opening where XG just fall a little short.
The fight recap shows Xtreme Gaming. You got nothing out of that. You've given up Megas. They have the lineup to hold up against Mega. The game is not over yet, not by a long stretch. But it does
so
feel like
difficult.
Xtreme Gaming is just bleeding, and they haven't really gotten any control back into this game. Maybe this Aghanim Scepter, though.
I mean, there have been very few comebacks against Mega Creeps on the TI main stage. There has never been a comeback against Mega Creeps in a Game 5 on the main stage. The pressure is building. It is almost too much, but XG, they are not out of this game yet. 5% chance. They will take those odds if they can find one more opportunity to output the damage. Ame, he buys out yet again in this game, consumes an entire Ags. He will have the Swiss Slash to throw out now. More tools in his arsenal.
It'll be a little hard for Skeeter to make that same read with the Outworld staff that he did before.
And a Hex on XXS, more control. That buys a lot of time for Ame to go in and deal some serious damage. And they were dealing some serious damage to that Medusa. It's as bad as the fight outcome was for you. You got Megas, you didn't get a lot off of that. You gained some confidence in taking Skeeter down.
You did.
He died very fast, especially to XM's damage.
Yeah, it helps so much that both the Requiem and these long-range Fishers, it pushes a lot of these Falcons heroes who are trying to sit behind the Medusa. It pushes them so far away that Skeeter just ends up on an island.
Exactly. Isolate the Medusa, take him out. Even if a clutch E-Blade comes through, you might still just be able to push through it. You always have the Demonic Purge to throw on him. Guarantee the Omni lands outside of the Outworld staffs here. Falcons take a breather, decide to farm up, try and reset this game a little bit. Still firmly in control. But you're going to have to close this one out. Second Hex available. There's now a double Hex with Refresher on the SF. Double Hex with Refresher on the Earthshaker. Quad Hex potentially coming out from XG. That is a lot of control to fight through.
That's like 15 seconds of disable. What do you even do?
No BKB on this Medusa. I mean, you could just throw all the hexes into Skeeter, remove a lot of damage from the fight. You might get RP'd, but if there's no one to kill you in the RP, is it going to do that much here?
Look at all the Lotuses he's stacking up, man.
Oh, they are stacking them.
Another Tormentor. Once again, nobody to take the shard, just some gold for the squad. We're going to be playing 50 seconds until Roshan has the potential to respawn. I think this is a situation where Xtreme, no way they can contest. It's just going to be a good old-fashioned base defense. It's just going to be sitting on your tier 4s, daring Falcons to get closer and closer to your fountain, where the buybacks are more potent.
Those buybacks are everything now for XG. Ame, you're pretty much capped out. You just got to play for maybe a Refresher, maybe a Nullifier somewhere in this lineup, but buyback is a lot more important at this point.
I mean, if he could get to Refresher, that would be sick. 4 different slashes to get around these Outworld staffs and these Ghost Scepters.
Gotta abuse the fact that the fight is gonna happen in your base and you're gonna be able to reset a couple times. But the same time, I mean, if you can continue to find levels in this game, the Shadow Fiend level 30 talent for some extra Shadow Raise damage, all these small things can add up here. Probably need to win a fight to get here, at least one or two. But you look at this net worth lead, a lot of this net worth lead for Falcons is on that support duo, which can play a huge role, but it's not necessarily going into this core-on-core man fight. And we've seen how quickly that fight can go XG's way. This game is not easy to end right now.
Mar has an E on disc. He's ready to put together if this initiation goes wrong, but it doesn't. He got the opening on the Shadow Fiend straight to the Static Storm. That's going to be a buyback.
No disruption in time. A clutch pickoff for ATF here. He will reach 25 off that extra RP stun duration. Can also be very impactful.
XM doesn't use his buyback right away. He's going to wait for Falcons to make another push. And Falcons are certainly going to go for that push. But how many times can they find this fissure opening? Every single time he goes for it, there's this risk that XXS responds fast enough, that somebody, one of these supports, managed to get off some sort of save.
The awkward timing here, Roche up in 40 seconds. You have to know that this is in the range for the spawn interval.
Yeah, maybe Falcons, maybe they just go back. Maybe they take an SF kill, but maybe they can't actually force the buyback for the risk. What if they lose this fight? What if they give up Roshan?
The safe discipline play is to take Roshan here. 2 lives on the Dusa is what lets you break the high ground. As tempting as it is to force the fight without the SF, it could go horribly wrong. And then if you lose that Roche, it could all slip away. They're thinking about both. They went to the pit, now they're back to the base. ATF, he's made the call. He wants to look for somebody.
Once again, the Pugna, because why not? A disruption, okay. Gets thrown out onto the Magnus. Lotusaur bounces it back, and it's still the death of X-Nova. Man is just not getting to play any Dota right now. Still, though, they popped another Stone Gaze for this. The XM's back up in 10 seconds. It's actually feeling like even though Falcons are getting these pickoffs, they still can't get a buyback out of them. They just have to go to Roche.
Most important things in this game right now are the buybacks for XG and their glyph. These are the 2 things they need to maintain in this game to have a fighting chance in that base defense. Doesn't matter how much lead you grow from here. The fight is not going to change that much. Maybe Refresher on crit gives you a little more potential, but you've reached your potential with this lineup. All the playmaking is there, and XG, they want to contest this Roche.
This is crazy.
This is absolutely insane. Going into all the vision, all the control, you can get sub-static stormed at a moment's notice.
And creeps are still hitting their tier 4s. They haven't even pushed the base out yet.
They're just going to get thrown. You have to go back.
You have to go back. There's no way you can stop this Roshan Falcons. They play it cool. They back away. 5-man smoke up, and now they're heading into the base.
They lost tier 4s off that. They lost so much.
They realize that Xtreme are a bit out of position. If they can get to the base before some of these other heroes, they can get yet another pickoff. It's X-Nova again.
Does not have the buyback available.
Is that enough, Falcons? Ame, he's tired of this. No, the Lotusaur. Swift Slash. It was just a Swift Slash. Meanwhile, GQ. He just died in an instant. Skeeter took him out. And oh no, XM got bashed up right as he tried to go for the Requiem. And he's gone.
XG crumbling right now.
They're wearing through these heroes one by one. And Ame in frustration, he managed to get his spin up there at the instant side, but it's that Stormer response, and it's Song as well. Still though, the spin gets off the side spin and bounce backwards. It didn't get onto the heroes. Now what do? You need a refresher, XXS. He can't go back, he has to go in, he has to use everything he has. Refresher into the Echo Slam. They get one, they got a lead. Half HP on Skeeter. Ame fighting for it. Can he take down Dusa? It's almost no! The Song! And now a refresh. When he comes back up, Snaking has just saved the game for them. It was going to be the Dusa dead, and instead, it's a Falcons victory.
Ame, you've been here before. Will you be denied again?
3 times denied. A horn toss and it's over. Falcons, they've done it. Falcons are your TI champions.
This series went to a Game 5. That Game 5 went to the 58-minute mark. It took every buyback XG had to hold on to that game. Every tower in the base. Falcons push it to the limit. They gave ATF the hero that has been Ame's nightmare time and time again. The Magnus will once more shut their dreams of an Aegis down and achieve the dreams for this Falcon squad. A long time in the making for some of these players. They will finally lift this Aegis. For some of them, they've been here before. But for a lot of this squad, it will be their first time as international champions.
Snake King and Skeeter, now two-time TI winners, and they do it with their teammate AUI, who is now the first coach for a three-time champion. The duo of Maureen and Amar, from their time together in obscurity on a little team called Creep Wave, moving to different teams, cheering each other on every step of the way, and now realizing their dreams as a team. And then Crits, the player at this TI, the longest consecutive run, 12 years in the making for him, and now the moment of triumph. The International 2025 champions, Team Falcons!
Ladies